A small business owner, you've probably noticed how the big banks like to force you into one-size-fits-all financial service products. At Neighbors Federal Credit Union, we've created a suite of flexible commercial checking accounts designed to fit the specific needs of your local business. And with 9 full-service locations throughout Greater Baton Rouge, we're always just around the corner. We're a local small business looking out for other local small businesses. Learn more about Neighbors commercial checking accounts by visiting neighborsfcu.org. Neighbors Federal Credit Union. We're here for you. Insured by NCUA.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Friday, May 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 91. In hour one of today's show, we'll take a final look at LSU versus Alabama on the diamond out there in Tuscaloosa. We'll also talk some New Orleans Saints trade rumors and LSU softball at the SEC tournament. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, and welcome into OTB. It is finally Friday. Even though Taylor stuttered about it being Friday, I will not do that because we are thankful that it is Friday. TGIF. I hope y'all know what that means. I hope y'all watch Boy Meets World on TGIF. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. Family Matters was on there as well. What is up? Jake, T-Bob, Alondra, and Taylor here with you on this Friday morning. Bob in the big city for one more day. What? I can't remember. You had a big dinner last night, right? So that was another big thing you had, right?
No. It was chill. It was we went to a bar right by work, and last night was like grabbing drinks with the coworkers sort of deal, right? So it was just like everybody I've been working with all week. We went out there, just got like some bar food and watched some basketball, some hockey, and it was chill. Another great night of sleep for your boy. So. Feeling very juicy. I have a nice dinner planned tonight with a very dear friend from high school, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. So you're working one more day of shows, right?
Yes.
Did I see you eating a cinnamon roll or something yesterday?
Yeah. A cinnamon roll place here. They have cinnamon rolls that represent each of the professional franchises. And so me and my girl Brooke Fletcher did a blind taste test where we had to guess which cinnamon roll represented what team. And despite the fact that I outweigh her by probably 200 pounds and about 2 feet of height, she actually beat me. She got 4 or 5 correct. I only got 3 of 5. Yeah. So I did not represent the fat boys well yesterday, losing in a blindfolded cinnamon roll eating contest.
Did the White Sox taste like vinegar?
No, but I did not enjoy the White Sox, to be fair. The best ones were the Cubs, of course. and the Chicago Sky. The Chicago Sky was actually my favorite. And by the way, Sky, super hot right now. There's I've had a couple, so I've been having to like Lyft and Uber everywhere and everything. Yeah. And I've had like 2 or 3 different drivers that, not knowing any of my background, like talking about the Sky and how pumped they are for Angel Reese. So it's been pretty interesting to kind of see that firsthand.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but you are right. I mean, I'm seeing preseason highlights all over the place. Alondra Taylor, TGIF, like I said. Hopefully y'all know what that was. Maybe not. No, Alondra. Come on.
I mean, dude, wait, okay, hold on though, Jake. TGIF is not it wasn't originated with that television lineup.
I'm not saying saying thank God it's Friday. No, I'm saying like ABC, like TGIF was a collection of shows that they threw up there. Was it 4 shows, Bob? Probably something like that. 3, I don't know. And it was like, we're going to watch TGIF. I think it was, yeah. I feel like it was. I know Boy Meets World was. It feels like Family Matters was. And so, yes, I know.
Okay,
hell, there's a bad restaurant that has TGI Fridays. I know that.
That's why I was like, what do you mean, do we know? But no, I don't know. I actually don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Taylor?
No, but I tell you what, got home the other day. Victoria was watching some Boy Meets World. And I thought of y'all. I was like, oh.
Yes.
And we used to watch it all the time. I don't remember like the 4 shows on Friday, but I watched Boy Meets World all the time.
Yeah. Boy Meets World.
Topanga awesome. Is probably the biggest crush of my childhood.
Really?
And I mean, Danielle Fisher remains really stunning to this day. So wherever you are, I hope you're having a great Friday, Danielle.
T-Bob is passionate about this. We've had this discussion oftentimes on the show.
Yeah. What do you like? Pacey? Or I can't remember. Is Pacey actually a guy?
It was Kelly Kapowski versus Topanga.
Oh, yeah, it's Kelly Kapowski. I mean, Kelly's fine, but she's no Topanga, dude, obviously.
Yeah. We're not going to have this argument again because it's only going to lead into a circle. We will start, though, with LSU softball. They get it done. So yesterday we finished the show talking about LSU softball because for like 10 minutes they had the longest game in SEC tournament history, and then it got followed up by a game by Georgia and Auburn that actually beat it for longest game in SEC tournament history. But big win in that one against Alabama 3-2, and then they come back and they knock out the number 1 seeded Tennessee Vols, the number 2 team in the country. And I think we said it on this show. It might have been off campus. I don't really know, but we said regardless of who wins this one, it's going to be a low-scoring affair, and it was that. And LSU, they continue on, and now they face the winner of Arkansas and Mizzou, T.
Yeah, man, it's really impressive. This team has been battling all year long. I know there's been weekends that they would want back, or results that they went back, but it has seemed like pretty consistently when the stakes are the highest, this team is at its best. And to follow up that 14-inning marathon win over a damn good Alabama team, to beat Tennessee 2-1, advance to the SEC semifinal for the first time since 2017. And how about Sydney Berzon? So, who got Kelly Lynch was on the mound first, right? Kelly Lynch, an excellent 5 innings there. But Sydney Berzon throws 206 pitches yesterday and then comes in 5th inning and shuts the door on Tennessee for the dub the following day. She has lived on the mound this SEC tournament, and she has been up to it like she has all year long. So, again, they say deal us in with this LSU softball team, and deal them in indeed, as they will now play the winner of, is it Georgia and Mizzou? It's going Arkansas and Mizzou, excuse me. And that'll be, so they will play at 4 p.m. today. Have Arkansas and Mizzou played yet, or did they get bumped to today because of weather?
Yeah, so everything kind of got bumped, and in typical any stick sport in the state of Alabama postseason tournament, rain, just like we see in Hoover every single year, has kind of delayed this because I think they only played 2 games last night, if I'm not mistaken. And LSU was supposed to start at 10 a.m. and they started at 5 p.m. So everything's been pushed back. But like
so I can't wait to watch this team today, man. Coach Torina, I know that this has been a again, This is a damn good team they've had. It's the most competitive SEC I've ever seen in this conference. And while I'm sure they wanted to win some moments they lost in the regular season, ultimately this is all defined by the postseason, and the postseason's off to a great start thus far.
Yeah, and this was an upset. LSU's number 10 in the country, Tennessee number 2, but like this LSU softball team can go do anything that it wants to do in the postseason. They have the third best RPI. So don't allow like the 14 losses maybe to cloud your judgment of what this team can be. You know who they've beaten as well? The number 1 team in the country. They've beaten out the number 2 team in the country twice this year. They've beaten the number 3 team in the country, Oklahoma State. They can make a run. I mean, they can make a run to the World Series, and then once you get there, who knows? And when you have pitching like LSU has, and you know this, T-Bob, in the postseason, that's going to play, in my opinion, and really in the analytics, then opponent lineup. Pitching's always going to win out in that postseason, so they have every opportunity to make a deep run.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I'm excited to watch this team again at 4:00 today. Jake, it looks like chat is agreeing with you on the Kelly Kapowski.
I mean, look, you're in the minority. Again, I don't want to have to rehash this again. We've done it 7 or 8 times, and if I do rehash this, it's going to be when I have Flynn with me, because then we'll just team up on you.
No, I mean, look, I get it, dude. A lot of times the smartest people are kind of like out there on an island alone, the guys who kind of see ahead and kind of see the world for what it is. So like, yeah, the ignorant masses, they'll have their takes, and I'll be out here with the more advanced, more intelligent, more correct view of the situation. So I agree. We should just stop talking about it after I got that final word in just now.
Yeah.
Just stop talking about
it. The sun, like right over your head.
I don't know what to do about this.
But when you
Should I
get
lower
directly,
the blinds and lose the backdrop?
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter what you look like. I mean, it's fine. But when you sit directly behind it, like it looks like you have a 1996 high school butt cut, like a true butt cut, because it like smushes your hair down.
We're talking Boy Meets World. This is my Sean hair. This is the hair that y'all are making me lop off.
Ain't no y'all.
Not y'all. Excuse me, not y'all.
That's another show, sir.
No, I am making me lop off because I'm an idiot. But like, I always, honestly, it's funny that you mentioned Boy Meets World. I always wanted Sean's hair from Boy Meets World my entire life. And look at this behind the sun. Here I am, and it's about to die on this Wednesday.
Wait, what's the actual day that you're cutting it?
Wednesday.
You and I are hosting a big event with the LSU coaches. Football, basketball, baseball on Thursday of next week.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I feel like, they're not going to care what my hair looks like. Who knows? Maybe it'll look good. I mean, they love fades, don't they? They're athletes. I feel like athletes are all about the fade. I don't know, dude. I'm trying to be positive about it. We're going to be positive moving forward. And you know what? And I feel bad because now we made such a big deal out of it. It's probably not going to be that big of a deal. And I feel really weird about the entire thing.
I mean, you've had this, like when we started this show together, you had that haircut.
Yes. Well, hopefully it's not going to be that extreme. We'll end up, we will see.
Yeah. Now I know why you were sticking up for Tebow so much yesterday. It's because you're going to have the same haircut.
No. Not okay. No. First off, not true at all. Tim Tebow's fade is getting more and more ridiculous the closer that line creeps to the middle of his head. Secondly, I'm hoping to leave a little more on top than that. Thirdly, I'm sorry, Jake, your hate for the Gators has blinded you when it comes to Tebow. He should be a lock on that list. He just should. Now, again, if you want to rank him a little lower, I think that is fair. But no one can sit there and say that Johnny Manziel should make it over Tim Tebow. You just can't do it.
Hey, it is funny.
You can say it, but nobody will agree.
It is funny. So, like, you put something out there like that, and you're going to get mentions, and then it gets to other fan bases, and you get mentions. But I had one guy that was just adamant. Like, he's like Tim Tebow, and then there needs to be a space between him and everybody else. And then number 2, I'm like, okay, like, he's going to have his fans. And, look, I liked him. But I asked him, I said, okay, game on the line, a minute and a half left. On the other 25, in the SEC championship and you got to go the distance, you choosing him over those other two quarterbacks? And, of course, he's like, absolutely, without a doubt. And then he's like, I mean, he broke Herschel Walker's rushing record. He had this many rushing touchdowns. And so I hit him back with, so on the drive to win the game with a minute left, you're throwing out running back stats.
Dude.
My point was proven.
You got to zig. You got to zig where they zag, man.
Yeah, because every 2-minute situation, we bring up running backs as the key.
Look, I'll never forget that there was a random. This is a very random game to bring up, so I apologize. We can move on after this, but the old NFC Championship between the Packers and the Seahawks. Okay, the Seahawks end up winning. I think this was eventually where they lost on the 1-yard line in the Super Bowl. But the Seahawks were down like 14 or 15, I think, in the second half.
Yeah, Flynn was on that team.
Instead of throwing the ball, they just kept running it. They just like leaned on Marshawn and just kept running that thing. That you got to zig where they zag, dude. That's just good football.
Okay.
I don't know what we're talking about, by the way. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk a little LSU Alabama coming up.
No, it's Friday. It's the opening segment. If we see squirrels, we just talk about it.
Oh, I agree.
We already talked about
I got my
LSU,
Friday shirt on.
We already talked about LSU softball. I thought that was really responsible.
So you're right.
All right. Well, no fun. Bob says we got to take a break and talk LSU baseball. We'll do that when we come back here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com. Buying new, leasing, or renting, they are the place to go, and they have so many different options for you. We tell you every single day, not just one option, multiple options, multiple trucks, multiple hybrids, multiple midsize SUVs, sedans, whatever you're looking for. They've got the full-size Sequoia. They've got the Sienna minivan. Whatever your needs are, they've got it over there at All-Star. And if you're buying new, if you're leasing, but also like leasing and renting, we always kind of point that out because everything's available. Not going to be the case anywhere else, but it's going to be the case over at All-Star. Get that rental reserved today. Call Miss Lisa Sessions over at All-Star, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
God, I agree, Chad. I freaking love Thai coconut chicken, but I also love All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. And if you need to get your car serviced, I don't care what your make or model is, all are welcome, okay? It's right there in Airline and Goodwood. It's conveniently located. They got the factory parts on site, free professional estimate insurance claims. Welcome. Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. and backed by the one-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart...
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. The Riot Radio Hours return, getting you set for LSU, Bama, and baseball, and Saints rookie minicamp. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in, OTB. No fun. Bob wants to talk LSU baseball this segment, so let's go ahead, Bob. Let's talk LSU baseball.
Okay. Hold on.
I know you got like a little aura over your head.
So you are telling me that you just don't want to talk about LSU, Bama, season on the line, gotta have it. I hate the Tide down to the hair of my nuts, and you're telling me you don't want to talk about going into Tuscaloosa and needed to take 2 or 3 to keep your postseason hopes alive? That's crazy, bro.
That's crazy. I want to talk about this when it happens organically. Don't put baby in a corner. The second thing is, why does it only go down to the hair on your nuts and not all the way down to the bottom of your feet? That mean you got love for Alabama for the rest of your body?
No. It's like it permeates all the way through everything to the tips of the hair on my nuts, which are the last thing that I think about on a day-to-day basis. So I am literally overflowing with hatred for Alabama.
Oh my
God. It
God.
permeates my entire body. This powerful sun you see behind me, I'm actually powering with my hate for the Tide. What does Roll Tide Willie say? What did he say? I don't give a damn about nothing but the Tide. I don't give a damn about nothing but hate the Tide, okay? And I'm about to have LSU season come to an end in Tuscaloosa this weekend. So, I'm pretty freaking excited for the Tigers to go to T-Town tonight and try to take these Sun Guns out.
I do apologize at 7:21. I apologize for those young ones in the car.
Well, you got me all fired up, dude.
And I apologize to the parents for explaining how far down the hate for Alabama goes and which part of T-Bob that goes down to. But I think they can all agree, whoever's listening in the car agrees with you. So maybe we're saved there a little bit. Your season does come down to a trip to T-Town, and it's an interesting matchup. You've got one where, Alabama, their strength is going to be at the plate. It's not going to be on the mound. So if you look at this matchup, T-Bob, you kind of see who's who, lay it out, who's going against who. We know game 1, game 2, what it looks like. Now, game 3, we don't know for LSU because, we're probably not going to know for LSU the rest of the year. What are some things you're paying attention to in this one?
So let's just do a quick statistical overpass like we generally do. We haven't done that yet. And again, these are going to be all conference-only numbers, so not factored in the midweek or out-of-conference games. But yes, like you said, this can kind of be summed up with Alabama is slightly better at hitting, and you are slightly better at pitching. Right now, Alabama, one of the better hitting teams in the SEC, a 292 conference team average. Now, interestingly, Jake, you have more power. They do not hit a lot of home runs, but they get a lot of hits, right? They have 5 players batting over 500 in SEC play. Ian Petrutz is at 380. Cade Snell's 377. Justin LeBron's 347. Matt Cassette's 329. Gage Miller's 322. LSU, for reference, only has 2 in Ashton Larson and Michael Braswell Jr. They've struck out the least amount in the SEC, only 171 times. So you can see the bats are pretty good. However, the pitching is slightly worse than LSU's. They nearly give up a run more. They have a 7.10 team ERA. You're at 6.33. They allow an opponent batting average of 280 compared to 265 for LSU. How about this? They've struck out the least amount of batters in the league with only 190 strikeouts, and they only have 1 save on the year. Only 1. Which I find to be mighty interesting. So basically, I guess that mean, what does that mean? Like how do you interpret that? They're winning big, because pitchers don't really do too many complete games now. No. So if it's close, Alabama has not fared well this year, and they've given up. And this is a matchup to potentially exploit. So like I said, LSU hits for power better than Alabama does. They've given up the second most home runs in the conference. They've given up 50 home runs in SEC play. Auburn is the only other team crossing that threshold. When you get to the field, it's basically a wash. And that's the other thing. On paper, this is a very even series, right? And so I think it comes, and like you said, it comes down to LSU's bats being able to take advantage of what is a perceived weakness, which at times this year, Jake, they have not been able to, but they've been better lately, and so I'm hoping they can carry that into this weekend.
And Jay did say yesterday that this park does play small. Like, he threw a little shot at Tennessee. He's like, look, it's not as small as Tennessee, but it is a park in which you can hit the ball out of the ballpark. And, you know, LSU's got a couple of hitters, I'd say right there in the middle of their lineup, but because they're still trying to find a leadoff hitter, I don't really know where those hitters are going to be in the lineup. But if you had a matchup, like, I would rather for LSU have a team with a better offense than, you know, a better pitching staff, because you just played a team with an incredible offense in Texas A&M, and you were able to get 2 of 3. Like, the thing that I feel most confident about in LSU baseball right now is Jump and Herring in game 1 and then Holman and Little in game 2, if that's how it plays out again. And so that's going to give you an opportunity to shut down a good Alabama offense. And if you can take advantage of Alabama's deficiencies on the mound, like, you still have some guys that are, you know, at the plate right now swinging it well. Now, it's not the whole team. We know that. There's still holes in this lineup. But, like, on paper, favorable matchups, I think, to LSU.
The only reason why – because, okay, I could – if this was a neutral site, and you looked at everything on paper, I would be okay with giving LSU the slight edge, especially when you factor in recent form, right? I think from a pure betting perspective, the fact that it's in Tuscaloosa probably gives Alabama the edge, and that's what LSU is going to have to overcome. And it starts tonight with Gage Jumpers, Greg Ferrone, and Jake, it's pretty crazy. These guys are basically like, I mean, statistically, basically the exact same this year. Both lefties. Now, Greg's a senior. Jump, we know, is a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah.
But Greg's 4-2. Gage is 4-1. Greg's a 4.07 ERA. Gage is 3.76. How about this? Greg's thrown 55 in the third. Gage has thrown 55. Greg's walked 18. Gage has walked 16. Now, Jump does have 10 more Ks at 6.7 to 57, but this is a very even matchup out of these starters, and that's pretty tense because it will decide maybe the tenor of the entire weekend, as you just have no confidence in Sunday. Saturday, game 2, you actually should have a big advantage when it comes to starters, and you look at Luke Holman versus Zane Adams, and Holman going to be a little extra motivated going against his former team.
At the end of the day, though, the guy's name's Greg. The only cool Greg that I know goes by Bunky.
Oh, wow. You just going to – what about G-String, dude?
He goes by G-String.
Yeah.
When's the last time you called?
You said the only cool Greg I know goes by G-String.
That's fine.
Greg Stringfellow, certified uncool. Damn. Yeah, you know what? My dad's old agent was named Greg, and I didn't really like him either. I agree, dude.
When's the last time you called String Greg?
Look,
Have
man,
you ever heard anybody call him Greg?
Strings.
You know exactly what I was trying to do there, and you runt it.
I did not attack Greg. I did not attack Greg all over the world.
But you knew what I was trying to do there, and you brought up the one Greg that we actually are friends with. Yeah, you ruined the bit.
Man.
I was trying to throw shade at multiple Alabama people there, and you ruined it. You ruined it.
Wait, what about old Greg? You don't like old Greg?
Oh, gosh.
Bailey's in a shoe.
I forgot about old Greg.
No.
Cousin Greg the Egg.
No. There's one cool Greg, and he goes by Bunky. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, no, Cousin Greg, great show. Cousin Greg was not cool.
Sticking to it.
He was cool to me.
Okay, well,
y'all ruined the whole bit,
cool. Okay? I'm trying to throw shade at multiple Alabama people, and y'all ruined the bit.
I appreciate that.
I'm moving on to Luke Holman.
Oh, because you're talking about Greg McElroy.
Yes!
Yeah.
God. All right, I want to move on because y'all ruined it. Luke Holman, you mentioned
is
it. Nope.
Perkins' name Greg?
Yeah, his name's Greg.
Oh, wow. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I thought you knew that. I thought that was kind of public knowledge. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. His name's Greg. Luke Holman.
Bunky?
Maybe so. 3-1 great. Luke Holman going back to Alabama. That's either going to go one of two ways. He is either going to be too fired up and it's going to go, sideways, or it feels like he's going to come in and give you 7 dominant innings and give up no runs. That's something he's got to be able to handle.
I'm gonna give Holman the benefit of the doubt here because he is such a guy that he keeps it so even keel, emotionally and personality wise. And I think he really proved something to himself last week against A&M when he did not have his best stuff. He was in deep doo-doo multiple times and found ways to battle out against all the odds. Of course, I cannot get the bases loaded 3 Ks in a row out of my head. He was walking guys. That's not going to happen 2 weeks in a row for Luke Holman. So I think he is going to feast this weekend. I'm much more on the fence about how the jump Ferrone matchup is going to look tonight and whether or not LSU can manage to set the tone tonight with a win because, as we know, when it comes to Sunday, LSU hasn't won a Sunday game yet, right?
Against Mizzou.
Yeah.
Against Mizzou, they lost
Holman's they got
the
Mizzou one.
They
got the Mizzou one, yes.
Yeah.
God, that's right, because Holman, the one weekend, he didn't have it. So still, we know that. How about this, though? On Sunday, Alabama started cap Ben Hess. And Jake, help me make sense of this. In 48 innings pitched, he's got 79 Ks, but then he's also got a 7 ERA.
Yeah. It's like if they touch it, it's going over the fence or for extra bases.
Yeah.
But you just got to touch it.
Yeah, so I'm really intrigued to see what Hess looks like when he's on the mound on Sunday. But
is he related to
Zach?
Man,
look, I was about to say
do we know
thing,
this?
yeah.
Have we checked this out?
I'm pulling up a picture of him now. Doesn't look at all like
he's
Zach,
not related
so
to
I
Zach
doubt it.
Hess.
Yeah, definitely not.
No, that guy is not related to Zach Hess. Feel confident in saying
How
that.
about this? It's so funny because so much of the season's been, can LSU make the postseason? Can they make the postseason? And you want to watch postseason baseball, but we've been watching postseason baseball now for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I have the exact same nerves and tingling and emotion and adrenaline that I would have if this was like a regional or a super regional, maybe even more so because I hate Alabama so much. So I cannot wait for tonight.
Yeah, I think everyone's right there with you with so much on the line. And LSU's going to do everything that they can possibly do to make sure that they win game 1 and or game number 2. We have seen that. Game number 3, would you like to win it? That's the obvious statement there. But they're not going to hold on to anything. They just that's who they've been. They know that they've got to win 1 game at a time. And so you're going to see everything possible to win game 1. Same thing in game number 2. And then we'll see what game number 3 looks like. But
yeah,
these first 2 games are going to be crucial. And I'm just curious how they're going to format it tonight. Is it going to be Herring after jump? Is it going to be Little after jump? I think we'd all assume it would be.
I think so.
It would be Jump and Herring. Although, we'll see. You got 2 lefties.
I think you gotta get. I guess I think you say that, but I think you go Herring. He's obviously your best guy, your most consistent. I think you have to get game 1. You really, really must, because you have such an advantage in game 2 that all of a sudden you will really have. It's like it'll be like landing a haymaker against Alabama, and all of a sudden their knees a little wobbly, they're against the ropes, and you'll have a really good opportunity to finish them.
Yep, I agree there. All right, let's take a break. We can talk Paul Skenes debuting against T-Bob's Cubs when we come back right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to getgordon.com. Getgordon.com is the website to go to find out what Gordon can do for you in the courtroom, past client results, cases they can handle for you. You can also get your consultation, that free consultation, set up on the website. You can get any question that you might have answered right there. You guessed it, on the website. So it's a great tool for you to find out what they can do for you. Again, in the courtroom, getgordon.com, and always on social media, as T-Bob will tell you, at getgordon is the handle. And wherever you're listening to us in the state of Louisiana, if you want to call them, it's your area code followed by 888-8888.
That's right, baby. Get Gordon, get it done. Follow him on social media at Get Gordon. And you look, there's a lot of great stuff that you can check out there. Just kind of general life advice, but what to do when you get in an accident. How do you protect yourself? You'll see a lot of great content with the favorite members of the G team, all your favorite LSU athletes. Gordon, keep it supported during this NIL era. Get Gordon, get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other.
Join me and Jimmy on for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. As always, we are at Ruffino's on Highland Road starting at 11 o'clock. Bruce Marshall is with us, Troy Macker, and we get set up for the weekend. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Friday from Ruffino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
It can't be said I'm an early bird. It's 10 o'clock before I say a word. Baby, I can never tell. How do you sleep so well? You keep telling me to live right.
All right, welcome back in to OTB here on a Friday as we get ready to watch Paul Skenes debut in the big leagues tomorrow against T-Bob's Cubs. Hunt Palmer's Cubs. Sure, why not? Let's go ahead and just go all in there. And I think a lot of people, T-Bob, are pretty excited for this one. Yesterday on Off Campus, we had multiple college baseball guests, and it's the only thing that they really wanted to talk about. And this is a great stage for him. You're going to be in your own ballpark, which, you know, brings this atmosphere that's going to be at an 11. And then you're playing one of the big brands in the Chicago Cubs. And so a lot of people are going to be paying attention to Paul Skenes' debut tomorrow as, you know, he's done things in AAA that I don't think we've ever really seen anyone do, dominate it like he has.
Well, and look, according to Jeff Passan, he's done things that we've never seen anybody do. And I would recommend, if anybody wants a fun read to get hyped up for the Skenes start tomorrow, Jeff Passan has a nice long read on Skenes and how the Pirates have gotten him to this point, kind of bringing him up here. But and one of the opening lines of the article, Jake, and I want to know if you agree with this, Passan says, no starter in the big leagues ever has thrown as consistently hard as Skenes. Now, I didn't get to watch Nolan Ryan, so, like, I don't know the truth of this. But, I mean, we all know Jeff Passan is like a baseball savant.
Right.
If you've seen the thing where they just give, like, random career stats and he can name, like, the most obscure player in these blind stat tests. Like, I guess what I'm getting at is, like, I don't think Passan writes that line lightly. You know, I think he writes that line intentionally. And that is actually insane. And it can't help but make you feel a bit like, man, how grateful are you that you got to watch that in college firsthand? Again, no starter in the big leagues ever has thrown as hard as Paul Skenes.
And I agree with you. Like, if Jeff Passan
consistently
says
hard, consistently hard.
Consistent, because, like, you know, you've got guys touching 102. I think 103 might be the fastest pitch in the big leagues this year. But, like, a month ago when we were talking about it, there was, I think, 45 pitches of over 101 miles per hour for Paul Skenes, and the closest big leaguer, I think, at that time was like 17 or something crazy.
Now he's up
like
to over
that.
90 pitches of 100.
Right, like this is like a month ago, and it was something like 45 to 17, and that was any pitcher at any level of baseball, single A through the big leagues. And so, no, I don't think this is crazy for him to say it at all.
His fastball averages 100. That's not like, we're not just saying he throws 100, like the literal mathematical look at the analytics average is 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And that's insane for somebody who is going as deep as he has. And as they've ramped him up, there's been no slowing down. You know what was one? So also in that article, Jake, and this is impossible to ignore, there was a lot of Wes Johnson talk.
Yeah.
And it was a lot about how Wes Johnson developed Paul Skenes. And we already knew Wes Johnson was like a next level good coach, but this article definitely leaned into that even more. But how about this? Paul Skenes burns 5,000 calories in a start because he throws so hard. 5,000. And so they and then it gets into like because that's what they're talking about with Wes Johnson. It wasn't about just teaching pitches, learning how to pitch. It was about diet, nutrition, everything. He said he drinks half a bear of honey. You know, like the bears of honey.
Yeah.
He takes down half a bear of honey a game.
5,000.
That energy and those calories back. 5,000 calories a game pitching.
What do you think we lost when we were in like true two-a-days training camp? Because we would lose some weight. Like, I don't feel
Probably
like
similar.
I mean, maybe. And we had like, you know, how many pounds of pads on and a helmet, and we're running around for 3 hours. Like, he's at least getting to go back and forth between the mound and the dugout. Like, that's an insane number.
I know. I mean, I think it's just like, I guess it just comes from you throwing Like what? Like 70, 80, 90, just full,
yes,
like max reps, like full effort
he
reps.
uses his entire body for sure. But like you go back, because now that he's getting called up, like we're seeing some of the old videos from when he was at Air Force. Like you go back and you watch him there, he doesn't look like he's related to the person that pitched at LSU. Much more slender when he was at Air Force. And also, like, you have to remember the regimen, what they're doing at Air Force, what time they're waking up. I mean, they have responsibilities to the Air Force before they do to the baseball team. And when I cover Army, Navy every single year, I am blown away by what the athlete's schedule is. And it is hard to stay in like this. It's not hard to stay in shape, but it's hard to stay in like this peak performance like Paul Skenes is at right now, where he's got a little bit of weight on him, like good weight and muscle, because you're doing things, again, that are towards your Air Force career, not your baseball career. And so you get away from that. You come to LSU, you learn those ways, you learn the diet, you learn all these different things that you didn't really have the ability to learn at Air Force. And now you've already learned them, and they're probably even ramped up even more so. And so you're getting the best version of Paul Skenes. Not that he wasn't great at Air Force, but he had other duties that were more important.
Yeah, and I mean, he should, in theory, still have room to get even bigger and stronger. You know, like he's still what, like 21 years old, maybe 22 years old.
He's 21.
That's what I'm saying. 21 years old, and think about that from a pressure and expectation standpoint. You're 21 years old. You are being painted as the savior of a franchise, you know, that has been bad for a long time now in a city that is crazy about sports. And you are being painted as the person to bring him back. And now you're going to make a start on a Saturday where it's going to be packed out against the Chicago Cubs, one of the most legendary MLB brands of all time. And I would say that, you know, many would probably wilt under that pressure, but I do believe that Paul Skenes' shoulders are broad enough where he can carry that burden, stand up to it. And I mean, I think he'll thrive. My Cubbies not hitting the ball great lately, Jake.
Can you really be legendary when you have as few titles as Chicago Cubs have?
Well, that's why I put brands in there.
Okay,
the brands did the heavy lifting there, right? I didn't say teams. I said legendary brands.
All right, T-Bob, I literally, I promise you, I have faith in you and I ask you this question.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not setting you up for one of those deals where I'm trying to make it where you don't know the answer. Who's the manager?
The more you talk, the more it sounds like it's not true. But yes,
I know, but I've heard you talk about this human before, so I have faith in you.
Craig Counsell.
Thank you, God, thank God. Okay.
How about it?
How about that?
The only reason I knew is because yesterday I saw a press conference on TV, and I was like, "Oh my God, Craig Counsell's the Cubs manager! Look at that, dude. That's crazy."
Well, I've heard you talk about his batting stance before, so I was like, I'm about to throw this out to T-Bob, and he's going to impress our listeners. But then I got nervous. I'm like, oh, God, does he really know?
I'm a baseball guy, dude.
I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. Let's see. The last time the Cubs won the World Series was
I was doing radio, and I remember we actually my old producer Tim Zimmer at WWL was a massive Cubs fan, and we actually popped a champagne bottle in the studio.
Oh, nice.
When they won. I think it was I want to say maybe like 15 or 16.
16. The big
So
Cubs guy. 1907,
Fly the W,
1908,
boys.
and
Fly the W.
2016. Well done, T-Bob. Maybe you are.
Bonus. Who was the manager at the time?
He was their old catcher, like the bullpen catcher or whatever or something. He was like I can't remember his name. He was a bald white guy. I can't remember his name. I know it wasn't
Bald
Theo.
white
Was
guy
it
is
David Ross?
No.
No, David Ross was after
What?
that, right?
Yeah, it was Joe Madden.
On that
He
team.
was on
He
the
was
team,
on
right?
the team, yeah, but it was Joe Madden.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Okay,
but
T-Bob,
wasn't Theo
who did
Epstein
they-
in charge?
I think so.
Who did they beat in the World Series?
Would
Would you
No
like,
idea. Red
Would
Sox,
you
I
like
don't
a
know.
hint? There's a movie
No,
about him.
not really.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it. There's a movie about him. You got it. I believe in you.
I don't really care. I don't know.
It was the Cleveland Indians.
Now known as the Guardians.
Thank you, Taylor.
That everybody
Thank you,
forgets.
Taylor. You just told me something that I literally could not care less about. Could not. so deeply in my heart. I don't care at all about what you just told me. In fact, I'm getting actively angry at the fact that you brought the entire show to just an arresting halt so that you could do that.
I mean, I asked very similar questions to Jake and Alondra, but I could see your frustration.
Shut up! Shut up!
No.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at the latest projections in the NCAA baseball tournament field. Are the Tigers in? Are the Tigers out? How much work do they have to do? We'll have it for you when we come back on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com. And when we say one-stop shop, well, we mean that because it truly is a one-stop shop. They are Louisiana's most reliable and respected roofing company because commercial and residential roofing needs, they've got you covered. Doesn't matter what you've got, if you need a repair, if you need a new roof, whatever. But also, we talk about the construction side of things because, as we know, this time of year in South Louisiana, it's going to rain probably every day. So if it's raining and you figure out that you've got a leak, they'll come in, they'll fix the leak, but they'll also fix whatever interior damage you have there in your home. So the construction side of things sets them apart from everyone else. That's why it can truly be that one-stop shop. And if you want to find that contact information for where you're located in the state of Louisiana, go to their website, top right corner of the site, ColemanRoof.com.
Coleman Roofing and Construction, man. Like Jake said, man, reliable, respected. They leave no stone unturned when it comes to serving their customers and getting the job done the correct way. You will love Coleman Roofing and Construction.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985.
Join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp, football talk with Preston Guy from Tiger Bait, Chris Demouy talking LSU baseball. We'll go to Pittsburgh, chat with Noah Hiles about Paul Skenes' debut. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here on Friday morning. Earlier this week, Baseball America put out their projections for the NCAA baseball field, the field of 64. And the LSU Tigers currently, and this is Wednesday, but LSU Tigers currently not in the field. They are in the first 4 out. They come in at number 67. The last 4 in, Florida, Coastal Carolina, St. John's, and Indiana. The first 4 out, Xavier, Utah, LSU, and California. Never did I think when this season started, did I think the series opener against Xavier would have them in 2 spots ahead of where the LSU Tigers are.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't even really considered that. Look, this is not surprising, but I mean, so how does this work though, Jake? This is with resumes as they stand currently, right?
Yes,
like this is not factoring in
as,
a hypothetical 13 and 17.
No, this is as the resumes stand, and this was on Wednesday, the 8th.
Yeah, and so that makes sense. I think it was huge that LSU managed to find that win on Tuesday night. And now again, you go 2-3 here, you go 2-3 next week, you hit that 13 number. And I'm not sure, maybe you have to win a game or 2 in Hoover, but yeah, I feel thanks to a series win over A&M, I feel confident. And Jake, think about this. If you win these next 2 series, you get to 13 wins, you can say that you've won 5 SEC series in a row. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel confident that that they would get in, because the case would be, well, clearly, yes, this is a team that was struggling, but they've improved drastically. They're much better now, and they're defending national champions. It's LSU. We want to make money. We send them somewhere the fans will go. So yeah, I'm not too concerned by that.
Just a reminder here as we wrap up hour number 1, the Florida Gators, who are currently in the field, they are playing Kentucky this weekend, and Florida's 25-23 overall. You are not eligible for an at-large bid if you have a losing record and your RPI does not matter. It can be one of the best in the country, does not matter. You cannot have a losing record and get an at-large bid. You have to go win the SEC tournament. More on that coming up on OTB. Hour number 2 coming your way.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to accentbr.com, accentbr.com. That is the website to go to if you have any heating, AC, cooling, doesn't like, we don't need to say heating. I mean, let's be honest with you. Cooling.
Not anymore.
Needs there with your air conditioner because it's coming. It's already it's here, right? It was here last weekend. It's been here all week long. And so make sure that your equipment is working at its peak performance, and so AcTemp can come in, they can check everything out, and if you're a part of the Star membership, they do that. They actually contact you to find out when they can come and check out everything, make sure it's working the way that it's supposed to. And the worst thing ever would be if you had no AC here in South Louisiana. So get that appointment scheduled today, accentbr.com.
Yeah, and they come out quick, man. I remember one weekend not too long ago, I think it was like a random hot weekend during the fall maybe, but I had people coming in town, AC out. I desperately needed it fixed. They got it done on a Friday afternoon. AccuTempBR.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Friday, May 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 91. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk about the latest with the New Orleans Saints and trade rumors. We'll continue our talk with LSU baseball and a whole lot more. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. You heard Taylor mention some trade rumors for the New Orleans Saints. I know, T, you want to get to this as well because Marshon Lattimore is someone that we talked about, trade rumors leading into the NFL draft.
Yep.
He was not traded before the draft, but they do select Kool-Aid McKinstry, so maybe signs point to him still being available. I know he's been linked to the Texans and the Chiefs, and just like flight tracker season in college football, it's Instagram-like season in the NFL because Marshon Lattimore, he liked an Instagram post from Bleacher Report showing him as a potential trade candidate to the Texans. Marshon Lattimore is somebody that we've talked about, you know, being available. Now, it would have to be an offer that kind of blew you away. I don't know what that offer would look like now that the draft is over, T. But you drafted Kool-Aid in the second round, traded up to draft Kool-Aid McKinstry in the second round. So this is a situation that feels like it's not even close to being over, and Marshon could actually be on the move.
Yeah, and remember with the timing of this, like one of the reasons why maybe it didn't happen before the draft is it's a bit of cap manipulation, right? Where I can't remember the exact date, but if he's traded after that date, he's going to count for less against the Saints cap. So the Saints have been incentivized to maybe wait on making this move. Let's look at this quote from Mickey Loomis. It's a bit of a longer one, but quote, when a guy is a really good player for your team, they're not on the market per se, but there are times when you get a call and somebody makes you a proposal and it might make sense for you. That's true for any player on your team. If you get an offer you can't refuse, you have to at least look at it. So that's what I would say. I'm not actively trying to trade Marshawn. Marshawn's a good player. He's an elite corner. He's had some injuries the last couple seasons that have kept him off the field, and we've got to get over that. It's not his fault. It's just circumstances. That's just where we're at. So as you can see there, Mickey Loomis very open to a potential trade of Marshawn Lattimore. And then you look at him liking the post about the Texans. There's been, during all the kind of perceived split of the locker room last year, I feel like if you read between the lines, it felt like Marshawn maybe wasn't the biggest fan of DA as the head coach. I don't know what their relationship was like when he was just DC. And then you look at the Texans, Jake, and it becomes interesting because it does make sense for both parties, right? Because the Texans have CJ Stroud on that rookie deal, they feel like they are in that window that everybody even though I think a bit too much is made of this, but that's a different segment. They feel like they are in that window where you have the guy on a rookie deal and you go all in everywhere around him, right? So Marshawn Lattimore, whether or not you think he's still elite, is still going to be one of the better starting cornerbacks in the entire league. You bring him to a Texans team that is potentially a contender, make them even better going in on CJ Stroud's window. Like I said, the Saints get some money off the books at a time when they desperately need it, and they gain some resources when we've seen them throughout this offseason, Jake, finally start to prioritize the future and not go all in on the immediate, right? Whether it was some of the deals that they made or didn't make. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not hard to see how this deal would make sense for both sides. I do wonder what that deal actually looks like at the end of the day, right? Because I can't imagine. I mean, I can't imagine that it's even a second rounder, would it? It feels like this would almost be a third round situation.
What if you did a player swap? What if you traded Marshawn Lattimore to the Houston Texans for Kenyon Green, who was selected last year in the first, or 2022, I should say, in the first round? He currently right now is not a starting offensive lineman for the Houston Texans. This is somebody with potential. You need offensive line. Would you value someone like Kenyon Green, who was a first-round pick 2 years ago, over a third-round pick that you don't really know who that could end up being?
Well, that's kind of funny, Jake. I guess this kind of goes back to some of your thoughts on first-round picks, right? Like, first-round picks are always going to get more opportunities because they're first-round picks. But, like, do we think is Kenyon Green like Trevor Penning? Like, I got to be honest, I've never thought about him before. Like, is he? Are you just getting a second Trevor Penning, or is the Texans line just too good where he just can't crack that starting lineup?
Well, I mean, your starting guards are Titus Howard, who you selected in the first round in 2019, and then you traded for Shaq Mason, who he's the other starting guard. So you've got really good guards there. So it's not like you've got, you know, seventh round picks that, beat out the first round pick situation.
Yeah, so I mean, I would be intrigued by that. I think you would probably still need like a late round pick on the edge of that deal. No, like I don't think you would just go. Would you go straight player swap there if you were Mickey Loomis?
I think you'd have to add something. You would have to add something because Marshawn Lattimore and what he can be when he's healthy, and he's not. It's not like he's an old player. Like he still has time left in the NFL. So I think you would take the potential of a Kenyon Green because it is such a position of need for you. And then they'd also have to tag a pick with that. And something like, no, I'm not talking about a seventh rounder. You'd have to at least, I feel like a fourth rounder.
Fifth, fourth. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like that deal you've created. I can get behind that. And then if you're Houston, you give up a lineman that's not really playing and you give up a later draft pick, but you now have a secondary, a cornerback tandem of Derek Stingley Jr. and Marshawn Lattimore. That, as Chris Jarrell points out in the chat, that would be nasty.
Yeah, because the Texans, they've got a couple of former first-round picks that they signed, but just not, like C.J. Henderson being one of them, that just not worked out in the NFL. Like, this is C.J. Henderson's at least third spot already in the NFL. And if you're wondering, C.J. Henderson, that name sounds familiar. It's because he's the guy that tossed the cleat for the Florida Gators into the fog that gave you a victory there in the swamp.
Well, and I didn't realize that, dude. Man, I forgot his name was C.J. Henderson. I feel like I've never even heard that name. I guess, how would Saints fans feel if this is how Marshawn Lattimore's time with the Saints ended? Obviously, there was a time where there was deep love between the Saints or between the fandom and that player. And again, there's no love for Dennis Allen really amongst the fandom, and I think anybody would side with Marshawn if that's like what it was kind of about. But it just, I kind of think that people wouldn't care that much, and I think it's interesting that I think it's interesting because it's kind of a testament to how injuries can change a fan base's feeling on a person so quickly, right? After 2 years of not being available, but the secondary is still doing pretty good, all of a sudden, it doesn't seem like people are too, it's no longer like, what? You can't trade this guy. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, I can see that. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think it's a couple of different things. I think it's because of his injury history. That's going to play into this. And also, when you see the young players, Paulson Adebo, Alontae Taylor, and now you've drafted Kool-Aid McKinstry, I think that the fans can see, okay, you've got two young players that have they been the most consistent? No, but they're young football players. They have shown enough to be able to make you feel okay about trading Marshawn Lattimore, and then you draft this player again that a lot of the Saints fan base is going to know because he played for Alabama and Kool-Aid McKinstry, and I think you feel good about those three players. And then you've got Tyron to kind of be the veteran leader in the DB room, and Howden was such a surprise in the 5th round a year ago from Minnesota. And so I think that you feel so good about the room, even if you don't have Lattimore. And then you have so many other positions, certainly the offensive line, where you need help right now, and you need that help more than you need it in the DB room. And so I think Saints fans would be okay with it just because of the circumstance of it.
Yeah, and look, this is actually a pretty good place, I feel like, for Saints fans to be in, because if Marshawn Lattimore is not traded, great, right? You have one of the better cornerback rooms in the entire NFL. If he is traded, it's okay because you get some resources and potentially some immediate help if you do like a line swap. And your secondary still, I think, will be pretty damn good. So this is not we must move him at all costs. It is just to say that the door is definitely still open, and maybe even Lattimore himself is itching to get out a bit if the offer is right. But either way, I feel like the Saints are in a pretty good spot here in terms of they can keep him, they can trade him, and both have benefits.
And so for the Texans, like, it makes sense as well. Jeff Okudah is the other. Remember him from Ohio State. He was the top 3 pick maybe by Detroit, and he's been a couple of different places as well. And so the Texans have former first-round picks that have not really lived up to that, not even at all, actually, to their first-round tag in the NFL. So they've got some talented players, but they certainly would love to slot Marshawn Lattimore right next to Derek Stingley, as T-Bob laid out there. So it makes sense for the Texans. Also the Chiefs, I mean, you get rid of Snead, so it makes sense for them as well. But it feels like the Texans, that one has a little bit longer legs than the Chiefs rumor.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because, again, the Chiefs don't need to go all in the same way that the Texans do, because the Chiefs have proven they can kind of craft that team a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes is going to get them to the Super Bowl.
Even though their corner situation,
what's that?
Their corner situation after trading Snead is not great in Kansas City.
No, I know, but I mean, they're kind of.
Yes, I agree.
They're playing that game that you sometimes see teams play when they have an elite quarterback, in which they kind of see what they can get away with. Like we talked about Drew Brees yesterday, how the Saints just basically stopped paying attention to interior offensive line for years and years. And then they were like, okay, actually, this is screwing us up. We have to trade Jimmy Graham for Max Unger. And so I maybe they still go out and try to get some cornerback help in Kansas City, and they would definitely love to with Marshawn, but maybe they also feel like you got Mahomes at the end of the day, which is probably flawed because L'Jarius Sneed was incredible.
Yeah.
During the playoff run, and he's been incredible the entire time, but really everybody saw it on the big stage. But I just feel like the Texans are definitely feeling that ticking time of, okay, CJ Stroud, we got 3 more years before it's renegotiation time, and we have to do everything we can to maximize our opportunity in those 3 years. Whereas the Chiefs are like, we have Pat Mahomes for what, 10 more, 50 more, who knows? And we can be we don't have to be as desperate and quick.
If the Saints traded with Kansas City and they bring back Jawan Taylor like a swap for an offensive lineman because you need so much help there, let's not forget Jawan Taylor led the NFL in penalties, and it wasn't even remotely close. In fact, I think he set the NFL record for penalties by a single player. And so if that happens, this will be a horrible idea by the Saints. And so we're in favor of trading with the Texans for a player.
I don't need that, bro.
Yeah, it did. No. I mean, this is a player that had more false starts and holding calls than any player in NFL history. He had times in Jacksonville where he was good. Don't do that. Just don't do that, and it'll be okay.
Wait, that wasn't his name. What was the old Seahawks corner's name? They got
Brandon Browner.
Brandon Brown. Yeah, sorry. Too much Brock Bowers.
Also,
yes,
like
I lived through Brandon Browner. I don't need the offensive version of that.
Browner talked more ish than almost any player I've ever played against. And he would talk ish and then get burnt by DT or Decker or one of those receivers and then come back and still talk more ish. I'm like,
but I mean, honestly, isn't that actually what you want out of your cornerback?
No. But
as dumb as that is, dude,
I want them to talk and back the talk up, because like the biggest talkers that I knew, like he was one of them. Aqib Talib was another, but Aqib Talib was a dog, so he could talk.
Yes.
Like Browner was not that. Browner. He stood on the shoulders of Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman and acted like he was a part of the Legion of Boom when he wasn't really that tight at all.
Well, also remember, they were better without him when Byron Maxwell took over. I mean, that's when they won the Super Bowl. Like, I don't even consider him a Legion of Boom member.
No. Not in our Legion of Boom.
That's right.
Nothing.
I'm glad that the 2 dudes from Louisiana get to adjudicate who's in Seattle's Legion of Boom or not. I agree. Make it 3 dudes. Get out of here, Browner, you bum.
That was the whole thing. Do you remember playing against Cam Chancellor in college?
I played against Cam Chancellor.
Oh, well, I did. You didn't, but you were on the team.
Oh, no, because Cam Chancellor was probably the freakiest part of that entire defense.
You don't remember what school?
Earl the Pearl. Wait, you cut off. You don't remember doing what?
You don't remember what school Cam Chancellor played for?
I got Tennessee. I got no idea.
Virginia Tech.
Oh, really?
2007. What? Xavier Adibi was middle linebacker. Flowers, who played a decade in the NFL, was at corner. Yeah. Cam Chancellor was at safety. Tyrod Taylor was at quarterback.
Damn, they had a freaking squad at VT that year, dude.
Had that ass whip, too.
Yeah. And that was – so how many of those players were on the team the year before when they whooped up on LSU?
Virginia Tech? No, you're thinking like 02.
Did they?
No, 02's when they beat up on.
That was like 2 or – okay, that was 02 when they did that? Okay.
Man, don't be putting that loss on our record.
My bad.
You're supposed to be paying attention. You're supposed to be a high school senior that was paying attention to LSU since you were committed to LSU.
Nah, look, man, I was trying to
Nope.
drink beers and make out with girls and stuff. Or I guess just my wife, really.
On that note, we'll take a break. More OTB coming back.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Put a plural on that girls, knowing it was just one person. K2ZBlinds.com, K2ZBlinds.com. Shades, shutters, blinds, drapes, interior, exterior. They can do it all for you. And sometimes it can be like my experience, and they can actually be exterior and interior when you didn't even know that was going to be the case. And if you haven't seen the video, go check them out on social media. I showed you exactly what they've done for me. Well, just one of the things actually that they've done for me in this outdoor shade. Right now, like, we're really enjoying this thing because it's going to cool it down a little bit there in that space, but also it's going to block the sun. Just a completely different space for us. We can enjoy it during the heat of the summer here in Baton Rouge. Again, check that video out on the social media, k2zblinds.com. And T-Bob's muted, and it's okay because I'm going to wax poetic still about K to Z. K2zblinds.com is the website, k2zblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. The Riot Radio Hours return, getting you set for LSU, Bama, and baseball, and Saints rookie minicamp. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I had a way then, losing it all on my own.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
And I'm not sleeping now. The dark is too hard to beat. And I'm not keeping now the strength I need to push me. You show the lights that stop me.
All right, welcome back in to OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. T-Bob, let me refresh your memory. LSU 48, Virginia Tech 7. We mentioned Tyrod Taylor. Sean Glennon actually started that game at quarterback for Virginia Tech. Eddie Royal was the number one receiver.
Sean Glennon or Mike Glennon?
Sean, his older brother.
Oh, okay.
Significantly shorter neck.
Yes.
Okay, that was going to be my first question. Good job, Taylor. You did something right today.
I thought he was kind of the better player at the time, but he was 2 of 10 for 16 yards against us. And then Tyrod came in as a freshman, was 7 of 18 for 62 yards. of all the games that I played in my LSU career, and there's a couple that would rival this. Notre Dame in 06, we beat the hell out of Notre Dame. This might be the best performance of a team that I was a part of. Like, this was a good Virginia Tech team. They finished the season in the Orange Bowl, and we beat them 48-7.
Yeah, it's no, I remember, dude. That was my first time ever running out in Death Valley. It was hype. It was insane. And then wasn't it kind of at the beginning when, like, right at the beginning of the game when Keelan had the option and he hurdled the dude? It was like 80-yard touchdown, maybe like 75 or something. And I felt like that kind of set the tone.
So listen to some of these stats. Like, Flynn threw for 217 yards, which at the time that felt like a million. Perilou was 5 of 5, 84 yards and 2 touchdowns. Keelan had 7 for 126 and 2 touchdowns. I had 12 for 81 and a touchdown. Trendon, Charles Scott, Perilou all had over 20 yards rushing. JoJo LaFell had 7 for 125. Early had 6 for 75. Damn. Terrence Tolliver had a receiving touchdown. It was just...
no way.
Stealthy
Drew Frosch in the first game?
Yeah. Stealthy had an interception because he had like 97 that year. He should have won the Thorpe Award, but, whatever. That was Colt David kicked 2 field goals that game. Patty Fisher averaged 45 yards on his 3 punts. What a day.
It was a perfect game.
It was
a perfect game. Pretty much everything went exactly correct that day.
That
inverse of Taylor.
That might be a great conversation, the inverse of Taylor. Like, I don't know how you would word it, but like best games played by an LSU football team. I think that would be up there. That would be one of them. I mean, y'all had those in 11 too. Oregon. 2011 Oregon would be hard to beat.
There's some other ones there too. Wait, hold on. So right here, do we want to give Taylor his chance to do NFL Story of the Day since we missed it yesterday, or do we want to do some more D-line portal talk? I'm getting a little burned out on the D-line portal talk, but we do have to update
That's why I'm bringing up games
updates
from 2007.
No, I know. I was just trying to say that as much as I don't like Taylor, I actually don't want to I want to give him his chance to do his NFL Story of the Day. I don't want to skip him again.
All right, well, go ahead.
What an intro, I must say. I hate the guy, but we'll let him do this one thing. I appreciate it. Actually, 2 mini ones. So the first one's going to revolve around LSU. Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors, y'all probably saw this yesterday. They've made a $10,000 wager. So if Daniels wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, Neighbors pays him $10K, and vice versa. They did this on the pivot with Ryan Clark. Yeah, and Daniels was like, well, Malik wasn't actually supposed to tell anyone that. That was a secret bet. But, yeah, $10K. My question is, what happens if neither of them wins Offensive Rookie of the Year?
No money changes hands. No money changes hands.
So what they should have done was get BTJ on this, who I actually think also has a really good shot at winning this award next year, because I think he's in the best situation of the 3. But, yeah, $10K for the winner of Offensive Rookie of the Year if it happens to be those 2.
So when I interviewed those 3, I think it might have been Malik that mentioned it in the interview, but he never said a dollar amount. But an update to this story, I think the NFL, because they're not having any fun, they've actually kind of shut down this bet. That's the latest that I saw, and they said that
that makes sense, actually.
It said that they were going to educate Jaden Daniels on things you can and can't do in the NFL.
Well, I mean, honestly though, that's on Malik. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was supposed to be private.
Yeah.
It's like Jake, you talk about all the time. Gambling goes down in the locker room between the boys.
Yep.
Not like throwing games, but like betting on college games with each other. Do you bet on other NFL games with each other? That feels maybe a little more like no.
So,
but something like this, is absolutely something that happens, right? Like an award.
Domino's games get bet on. Can I make this in the trash can? Gets bet on. Everything gets bet on. So I told you this before.
God, I love a good trash can game.
Quentin Jammer and I, we used to have a bet, $23 against the Texas spread, $22 against the LSU spread. That was our jersey number. And every game, it was like no matter who you were playing, like that was going to be it. If Texas covered, then I owed him $23, and if LSU covered, he owed me $22. Just stupid stuff like that.
That sucks because if both of y'all win, you lose $1.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the thing. But he was the vet player, so he earned the $1. That's what we came to. And I think every year, like he'd owe me $3 or I'd owe him $4. But we bet on everything. That's my point. It was $4, but we had fun because we'd go back and forth. And we would text each other like talking mad-ish over $4 because it was just fun to have action on something. I don't know.
So Taylor, what is your second big NFL story of the day?
So this one actually a little more serious. It came out a couple days ago. I'm going to ask both of you a question. It'll be different. Jake, you first. How hard was it to stay out of trouble as an NFL player?
How hard was it?
Yes.
It was incredibly easy to stay out of trouble as an NFL player.
I assume. T-Bob, is there a city that you know you would get in trouble in if you went to?
I mean, I got arrested in Baton Rouge, so, maybe it was a little harder for me to avoid some of my degenerate temptations.
But if there's a city out there and you're like, I know I'm going to get arrested if I go there, you wouldn't go there, right?
Like if I had like an outstanding warrant,
or
are you saying like
situation?
No, just you. Every time you go to the city, you get arrested.
No,
you're not going.
No, again, I like to think that my arrest was a one-off. No, to your question, I do not believe there is a city where I'm like, oh my God, if I go there, I'm for sure getting arrested.
Well, someone needs to tell Rashee Rice to stay out of Dallas because he was arrested the other day. He's a suspect in an alleged assault that injured a man in a Dallas nightclub. That was earlier this week. Go back to April. He was arrested in a 6-car crash in Dallas that injured those 7 people. You guys remember he was going 119 miles an hour before that crash. Both of these occurred in Dallas. So Rashee Rice, who was instrumental, I mean, he was wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs in that playoff run. He really started to come into his own. He has charges against him possibly for the wreck, and now he's a suspect in an aggravated assault that injured a guy in a nightclub. Both of these occurring in his hometown of Dallas.
Look, I don't think it's a Dallas issue. I think it's a him
well,
issue.
it's his hometown for sure. I mean, he played at SMU, but yeah.
Rashee, what is you doing, dude?
So
Come
aggressive.
on, man. You finally coming here. I mean, you're wide receiver 1 on a Super Bowl winning team. Like, the world's your oyster. Now you're going to ruin your life in a single offseason. I hope somebody gets to that man and helps him get straight.
Is that the 2 stories that we have today for Taylor's NFL stories of the day?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well.
Oh, look at this. Every time at 8:30, I don't know why, these blinds lower. Yeah, it's coming. There it goes. See that? Look at that.
It's automatically?
I didn't even notice that it did that.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because I keep putting them back up.
Oh, we'll leave them down.
I think they're probably going down for a reason, so you should probably not put them back up. Although the view, I don't know. The view's
not
good.
nearly as tight. It's actually okay, though. You're still going to see the cityscape. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave them down if you want me to. I don't care. It's a little cooler in here.
So you said you had defensive tackle portal fatigue, but you also mentioned it. So does that mean that you want to get into defensive tackle portal situation?
I think next segment we just need to update because Taylor put it in here. There's some names re-entering the mix. It's just to say that LSU's search for a DT may not be over quite yet.
All right, Taylor and T-Bob will update you on the defensive tackle in the transfer portal when we come back here. No, I don't on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to Trash Rangers LLC. TrashRangersLLC.com. TrashRangersLLC.com. Serving Ascension, Livingston, and surrounding parishes, but as we've been telling you over the last couple of days and weeks, roll-off dumpsters, we're talking to everybody. We are talking to everybody who is listening to us right now. And so, look, I've already told Flynn he needs to call Trash Rangers, get a dumpster out there at the My High headquarters because they are the best. And I know that because the reviews keep going up. So people are finding out about Trash Rangers. Those reviews are now over 4,000. Remember, they were like 3,500, I think, a couple of weeks ago, but more reviews are coming in because people are fired up to have that red trash can. You can have it as well. You can have that roll-off dumpster, TrashRangersLLC.com.
look, we can all appreciate the local touch and the customer service that comes along with it, okay? And so if you're in a Citrus or Livingston Parish, make the switch to Trash Rangers today. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. Trash Rangers, trashsignup.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty.
Join me and Jimmy on for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. As always, we are at Ruffino's on Highland Road starting at 11 o'clock. Bruce Marshall is with us, Troy Macker, and we get set up for the weekend. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Friday from Ruffino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Everybody get up.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. T-Bob Taylor, defensive tackles, LSU football. What's the latest and the greatest there, T-Bob? Because as we know, LSU was after some of the top targets in the transfer portal. They missed out on those targets, but you said that there's maybe some more names in there. Some have maybe resurfaced that LSU is still in on.
Taylor, take it away.
Yeah, I really thought T-Bob was going to do this.
Yeah,
but,
y'all both. Wait a minute. Y'all were so excited to talk about this. What do you mean?
No, I don't like this game that you're playing right here. You know this story. We have to update the story. I'm not saying we have to do a whole segment. I'm not saying we have to dwell on it.
I know, but y'all were ready to go. I wasn't ready to go, so I was trying to be the quarterback that was just trying to get rid of the football. You're the receiver. You're going to catch it. You're going to make one guy miss and go like 75.
No, we did a hook and ladder. I tossed it to Taylor.
Wait, Billy Bob caught the hook and ladder, though.
What?
Billy Bob caught the hook and ladder. The offensive lineman, Billy Bob, he caught it. He scored.
Yeah, no. Well, Taylor's personality is as morbidly obese as Billy Bob is, so that's how I'm justifying this.
Okay, Taylor,
take it away.
A morbidly obese personality.
Yeah, it's gonna die. You should do something about it. You should make your personality better. Take care of your body.
Okay. No, all I was gonna say was Brandon Lane is another name that has been connected to LSU. He's from Stephen F. Austin. He entered the portal in April, committed to Michigan State, but has recently had a change of heart. Now, you guys the other day were talking about Aiden Huntington. You were worried about his size. Well, Brandon Lane is 6'3", 300 pounds. He is Colorado, LSU, NC State, USC. So, I mean, he's got an impressive offer sheet. He's seen action in 22 games, 55 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks, and a fumble recovery. So, not eye-popping numbers, but a solid player. He has 1 year of eligibility remaining. And, Brandon Lane by himself is not going to fire anybody up, but could you get Brandon Lane and Suggs that we were talking about yesterday from Grand Valley, or could you get Lane and Aiden Huntington? You can get 2 of those guys. I mean, they're not star players, but you'd at least feel better about your numbers, right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what the hell's going on with Michigan State defensive linemen, dude. They cannot hold on to any of them.
Yeah,
like 2 of the bigger...
3 or 4, right?
Yeah, well, and then this guy commits and then decommits from the portal. So, I mean, there's something up there.
And, I mean, kind of to back up y'all here on the defensive tackle front, I mean, it's not a surprise, but ESPN.com did their top 25 teams, the most lingering questions for that team. And, of course, defensive tackle is the biggest question right now for LSU. And it mentioned some of the misses that you've had. It mentions Ahmad Bro, though, moving from in to inside. We updated his weight the other day. Dominic McKinley also 5-star guy, and you hope that he can give you something. I will say this, like if this was a 5-star quarterback, I'd be like, he's a freshman. I just don't know. If it was a 5-star left tackle, like there's not many Will Campbells walking this earth. I don't know how I'd feel about that. But defensive tackle, that's a position that rotates more than any other position on the football field. And we're not saying that Dominic McKinley has to come in here and play 80 snaps. If he plays 15 snaps every single game and he's as talented as we think he is, then there will be some value with a freshman at that position.
Yeah. I mean,
that's how Putt started his LSU career. And you had, Claude Roten and Kyle Williams. You had some really good defensive tackles, but Glenn Dorsey came in and he played, he wasn't a starter, but he played and gave you some real value there when he came in.
Yeah, and look, this is up to Bo Davis, man. LSU literally did not have a true defensive line coach last year. Now you're supposedly have one of the best in the entire country. And so he's going to have to try to maximize whatever pieces he ends up being handed. So we'll see where this all ends up going. But again, Lane, the new name to keep an eye on, along with Javier Suggs. And we'll continue to update Huntington as well. You mentioned Will Campbell there, Jake. How about this? I've never seen anything like this. Will Campbell the other day was ranked number 1 on the Athletics draft big board for 2025. Why I want to mention this, and Jake, let me know if you've ever seen this. I cannot think of a single other instance where you would have a true junior offensive tackle be that highly ranked. It's freaky enough for Campbell to do what he did and coming in and immediately starting in the SEC and having so much success. It's even freakier to be able to so clearly go to the league after just 3 years and be a first-round pick at that position. And it's the freakiest that I've never seen before to be ranked number 1 overall on the Athletics big board. Not say he'll be the number 1 overall pick because quarterbacks and all that. We'll have to wait.
I've seen him in top 3s in almost every mock draft, though.
And that's what I'm saying. As a true junior at that position, this man came into the school with so much expectation, and he's blown even that lofty 5-star generational expectation out the water.
From day one. Like, there was no learning curve. Like, it was like, hey, I'm here. I know what I am. I'm the swaggiest offensive lineman in the country is what he told us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like to think I'm the swaggiest old lineman in the country.
Well, he has
Never forget
been.
it.
He's lived up to it. And, I mean, think about, like, game 1, he's going against Jared Verse, his first ever game in college. First, like a first-round talent at defensive end.
And, I mean, I feel like even despite that, I can feel the times that I can count the times that Will Campbell got beat on, like, one hand.
Yeah, he graded out as the highest-rated offensive lineman in the country last year, regardless of
Cortland
position.
Jacobs say, and people wanted us to pay double in NIL for Williams that we paid for Campbell. I mean, that's what we were getting at yesterday, right? Like, I don't think it was stubbornness from Kelly. I don't think it was a lack of money, though certainly LSU, I don't know if they have the resources, maybe other schools do, but it was more of, I think those prices just became untenable. They became bad business. And I think it's bad business to pay someone, reportedly double probably what Will Campbell's making when he is this transcendent next level player.
Same thing with Emory Jones coming in, right? He's like, hey, I see what, what everybody's getting out here. Like, hey, I'm a dude. I'm not going to have somebody just come in here and, so like that whole offensive line, like what they're getting paid right now in NIL, like they deserve it. I mean, it's the strongest unit in the country. And your boy 53 Lance Hurd came in. He wanted the same deal. It's like, hold up now, you're good. You're going to be really good, but you hadn't done what Jones and Campbell have done.
Well, to be clear, Tennessee offered him more than what Jones and Campbell are making. And so that's another business decision. Do you pay Lance Hurd more than Jones and Campbell? Do you match that? Or do you pay more and then you try to raise up the other guys? I mean, you're getting into literally, even though it's not technically a salary cap, these are discussions that you've never had to have before that, now you really got to consider. And no, I would not pay Lance Hurd more than those starting tackles. I guess the only way to kept Hurd would have matched that number and then bump up the tackles. But then obviously that starts to get very expensive.
And then again, like we talked about yesterday, what do you have coming in this class? You have a 5-star offensive tackle that you had to give an NIL deal as well. So people forget when those new players are coming in, they're also within that NIL situation that we talk about. And you can't have the class that LSU just signed and the one that they're expecting to sign, which is the top 3 class in the country, for nothing. Like those things cost now as well. And so some of your resources, if you're Brian Kelly, you say, I want to develop players. Well, that's how you get them on campus. And so you are like developing those players that you helped get here through NIL. And the NIL situation is going to be different in the transfer portal. If you want to build through high school recruiting, like your NIL is going to put great value on that and not as much on the transfer portal.
I agree. Okay, we got to talk about Gilbert Brown sometime in the show. Have y'all seen the pictures of the old Packers nose guard Gilbert Brown making the rounds?
Yes, I have, of course.
The peak D-line aesthetic. That is one of the most badass pictures I've ever seen in my entire life. How you're supposed to block that man, I have no idea. It is a 3-4 nose out of hell right there. Also, Alondra, do you want to do bad corner advice next segment and close out hour 2?
I can.
Hell
it's
yeah.
about just throwing out different segments from Chicago.
I know.
Yeah.
You get a segment. You get a segment.
Okay. All right. Everybody gets a segment.
Look, I want to talk about Brown. I want to give Alondra a chance for bad corner advice, pimp the pod. And I want to talk about Junior Gillette having $22,000 worth of traffic cam tickets. I want to mention maybe a little NBA playoffs. We still got a lot. We still got the Jaden Daniels Trust Waste. So we got a lot to get to.
Send us a break.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I met T-Bob and Alondra at the thing. Yeah, community.
You took too long.
Never been told that before. CommunitySteelCo.com. That is the website. Go check it out. And they've already been in Gonzales, Louisiana at the facility waiting on you for the last hour and 46 minutes. So top right corner of the website, click on Community Steel, show you exactly where they're located so you can go see them and, get an idea of what they can do for you. But if you can't get there today, but you're in our listening area and you want to check out Community Steel, just give them a call, 225-647-2020.
That's right. Go to Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com. You need purlin, tubing, steel buildings, sheet metal, accessories, all made right there in Gonzales, Louisiana. You need a community steel company. They're local. There's a actual sales team that are, live here, humans you get to talk to and form relationships with. They better serve you, your personal or business steel needs. Check them out today. Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Brack teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and
Join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp, football talk with Preston Guy from Tiger Bait, Chris Demouy talking LSU baseball, and we'll go to Pittsburgh, chat with Noah Hiles about Paul Skenes' debut. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back in, OTB. Let's go ahead and throw it to Alondra to get some bad corner advice.
Okay, wait, I haven't opened. Should I play it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You're doing it right. Thinking of betting on the UFC?
Back with my groin. Hit him with your groin.
Don't listen to your friends.
You got my mentality?
Listen to Alondra Villarreal.
I want you back, big back.
This is bad corner advice.
Didn't touch it,
on Off the Bench.
Okay, so we're not going to do UFC today. There is a UFC fight night tomorrow night. The main event is a heavyweight bout, Rodrigo Nascimento and Derek Lewis. I think Derek Lewis takes that one, but
Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guys, Savage Sean Jordan, who once knocked Derek Lewis out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a Savage.
So got a little Ryan Garcia update. We know that he had tested positive for Osterine, and another test was inconclusive. That test came back negative for 19. I can't even say it. Neurostrodome or something like that.
Yeah,
but
Bob, we out of baby, it's a boy.
The Osterine, he did request B samples. Those are going to be open May 22nd. So we'll know for sure 100% if Ryan Garcia is cleared or not. I'm not going to be here next week to give my Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk pick. This is for the undisputed world heavyweight title, the first one since Lennox Lewis beat Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
So Usyk is the underdog in this fight, plus 100. Fury is minus 120.
Okay.
The last time that I had checked before yesterday and today, they were like both at minus 120. So this is a really kind of close fight, and they're both great fighters. I'm a huge fan of Tyson Fury, but I feel like there's a very real possibility that Usyk takes this one.
Usyk's been waiting on this.
Oh, he's been waiting on it. Also, Tyson Fury is in the best shape of his life right now, and I think that works to a disadvantage for Tyson Fury because he uses his size to his advantage to like lean on them and really wear them down with his size. Usyk is super quick, so I think that Fury wanted to slim down to be like in the same movement level as Usyk, but I mean, I have a feeling Usyk takes this one over Tyson Fury.
The last time that we saw Tyson Fury, he was going against the
Ngannou.
UFC fighter,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it wasn't great.
It wasn't great, but I also don't
Wasn't
think
great.
that he took that training camp seriously at all. Like, he was super fat, and you got fat Tyson Fury. Like, that's just, but he did not take that training camp seriously because I think that he thought that Ngannou wasn't. And it's crazy that they took that to like a split decision. Like, it wasn't even like a unanimous decision. It was split. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think Usyk takes this one.
I don't watch a ton of boxing, so my opinion means nothing. But like the second Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight, like I feel like that's the opposite of Fat Fury. That's when he gives a damn, like you're saying, Alondra.
Yeah.
And that was the scariest performance I've ever seen in my entire life.
So the one
like if
that
he
went
could
to
somehow muster up that at his entire career, he would have never gotten beat.
Yeah. Well, he only has a draw, and it's against Wilder. I think it was the first Wilder fight, and he came in at like 254 on that one. But I think he'll come in at like 260, low 260s for this one. I still think that's not too small, but like I said, he uses his size to his advantage in fights. So I don't know.
When he's got a little overhang,
And
Usyk
he beat Joshua twice, so.
Oh no, he's a dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, and again, he's been waiting for this fight, and so you're going to get the best version of him.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So I'm going to take him on the money line.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, get a little value there,
Yeah.
I think. All right, that's going to do it for hour number 2 of OTB. And when we come back in hour number 3, T-Bob wants to talk about Gilbert Brown. Yeah, that Gilbert Brown who played for Kansas in college, who's got he had a sweet visor, wore number 93.
He played for Kansas?
Yeah, he played for Kansas Jayhawks.
Oh, wow.
Have you not seen his college picture?
No,
Check it out.
I'll look it up during the break.
All right. We'll be back. More OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, RejuveMeMedical.com. Go to the website today, the Age Defying Clinic, and get your consultation set up. Top right corner of the website. That's where you can get that consultation set up. And maybe you're dealing with something, but you just don't know what it is. That's where Rejuve Me Medical is going to step in. They are going to help you out because it might be fatigue and insomnia, sexual dysfunction, thyroid deficiency, something going on, and you don't know what it is. Rejuve Me Medical, again, we'll get to the bottom line of it, but they can't get to the bottom line if you don't schedule that appointment today. So go to the website, RejuveMeMedical.com to schedule it.
Yeah, look, you want to fight the untreated effects of aging? That could be anything. That could be facial aging, andropause, menopause, mood and memory problems, insomnia, not having the energy you used to have, the confidence you used to have, just not feeling like yourself. Well, you can feel like yourself. Go get a free consultation from Rejuve Me. Let them draw your labs and let them customize a plan for you and what your body needs. RejuveMeMedical.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Friday, May 10th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 91. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll talk Junior Galette and his traffic troubles. Also, T-Bob wants to give us some update on Gilbert Brown. Then we'll maybe do a little NBA talk as well. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN. And watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 3 of OTB Friday morning. Woo! And we're there. We are at the finish line. But how could we go into the weekend without talking about the aesthetic of Gilbert Brown? Dark visor, huge shoulder pads, long face mask, ripped. I think it's a ripped. It looks like it's ripped maybe at some point in the V-neck of the jersey.
Plunging neckline for a guy Gilbert in that picture.
He's got a deep
neckline.
V. He's got a Harry Styles deep V t-shirt on over his pads. And I have seen this making the rounds. I actually put you onto his college picture. What did you think about that? Oh, look at that.
The college picture is also incredible. Something about blue, like, and white, I guess also does this, just makes him look like even just like bigger. Like, I don't know if anyone has looked more badass in a Kansas uniform than did Gilbert Brown. I guess this is a thing where, Jake, I've talked about this before, right? I was a front runner little kid when it came to the NFL.
Yeah.
And so, like, that 96 Packers team, I was like super into, right? And I had just completely forgotten about Gilbert Brown. And then he showed up on my timeline the other day. And I'm like, this human being looks like the most unblockable person I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it's maybe him or Vince Wilfork. Yeah, like, I agree. Eric Cross says, dude looks like he should have played for Dallas Carter. Tell me I'm wrong. True. That is a Dallas Carter villain football player.
We played against Dallas Carter at Evangel. Funny enough. We won, by the way, in case anybody's keeping score at home.
Oh, wow.
So he looks unblockable, but Haloti Ngata, like you mentioned Vince Wilfork, like he was great. Good player. He actually intercepted us one time. It was funny watching him rumble and tumble down the sideline. But like Haloti Ngata in person, like it was like, why are we on the same field playing the same sport? Like we don't belong together. Like no matter what happens. And I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about like anybody.
No, I'm saying, but bro, Pacific Islanders are just different human beings. Like, to be fair, Gilbert Brown is gigantic.
Yeah.
But he's like 6'2", 340. Pacific Islanders will be like look at my Lotta for the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll be like 6'8", 350 and have a six pack.
Yeah.
Like you look at Haloti Ngata and he's not fat at all.
No.
He has abs. It's like, well, no, a man that big should not have abs. That's actually ridiculous. No, hey, look, Taylor, Google Haloti Ngata and then go to the shirtless picture of him that's before that. It's under Oregon Alumni Association link or something. But like Gilbert Brown doesn't look like this when he takes his shirt off.
No.
But so yeah, I got Haloti Ngata is a different breed for sure.
So I played with someone, and again, like you're talking about, when you're just brought up a different way. So Corey Sperry was a tight end. He was originally from Hawaii, moved to the States, and then played at Colorado State. But he was talking about like what they did on the island, and he's like, "Yeah, no, we hunt boars all the time." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what'd you use to hunt them? Like what kind of like you go handgun? Did you go rifle? Like what'd you?" He said, No. We use K-bars. I'm like, the knife? He's like, yeah, no, we use K-bars. Like, so no guns, no nothing. He's like, no. He's like, you get the wild boar really angry at you, right? You rile it up a little bit, and then you back up. And then once you back up, the boar is going to charge you, and it's going to come full speed. And then once it lunges at you, you sidestep it. You put the K-bar right into the middle of it. Then you just slide down. And then that's how you kill the boar. And like so matter of fact of it, I'm like, blown away. He's telling this story. He's like, yeah, that's how we go boar hunting on the island. Like it's just different. So to your point, yeah,
no, it's insane.
Just different life, different mentality.
When it's like the Maori, the Maori out in New Zealand. Like I know New Zealand produced a few NFL players in its day. Just a massive rugby, and I mean, go look at the All Blacks, right? I mean, Haloti Ngata, is 6'4", 340, and you saw that shirtless picture of him just now. That is the definition of built different. 2-time All-Pro, 5-time Pro Bowl. It's in the Ravens Ring of Honor, Super Bowl champ. He also beast. So again, I had no great follow-up on any of this segment except to say that Gilbert Brown looks really tight.
Is that your most forgotten NFL player that brought you joy when you saw him? Because I've got one that I saw the other day that just brought like good feels, and this might not be good to say here in Louisiana.
Yeah, it's probably the first for me in a while. Yeah, absolutely.
I saw Jamal Anderson do the Dirty Bird the other day, and I was like, that brings back something. That brings back a little core memory, because one of my best friends in high school, his dad was the center on that team, and so I paid attention. Schreiber was his name.
Throwback?
No, so remember Schreiber had to play in the Super Bowl because the center got hurt, and so Schreiber had to come in and he had to play center, and that was my best friend's dad. And I guess I would have been against the Broncos, right?
Broncos. Yeah, they got smashed. So that's what we were talking about some on Stadium this week, talking about the Nuggets and the psychopathic drive that it takes to win a championship and then want to come back and want to win one immediately afterwards. And one of the greatest teams, the blinds are going back up randomly. One of the greatest teams to ever do that, in my opinion, was that Broncos team to be the Falcons. Because remember, the previous year, they weren't kind of expected to, but they won the Super Bowl over the Packers. And then they came back next year and went 14-2 and absolutely smashed Atlanta. So I'm sorry for your friend's dad.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, who were you? Were probably rooting like hell for the Falcons back then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, when Morton Anderson made that kick to send him the Super Bowl over the Vikings, that was one of the happier moments of my sporting childhood, if we're just going to be honest about it. And the craziest part about that Vikings game in the NFC Championship is that Gary Anderson had not missed a kick all year long, and then he missed the kick.
Yeah. And the Great Dane made his.
Yeah, because the Great Dane don't miss, dog.
It is funny, how all these Saints that end up Falcons, they actually come back to the Saints, though. Like Morton Anderson, your dad, it's like if they go over there, it's just for a paycheck, and then they always come back.
Yeah, mercenaries. Their heart resided in New Orleans, ultimately. I do wonder if that's true for Ironhead. I wonder if we could talk to Ironhead, I wonder what he would say today about where his heart would have lied in terms of his career.
Sure. I feel like we're missing. That's a great one. I mean, that was certainly somebody that, as a young running back who, had a little extra weight on him, wore husky jeans like your boy here. I could appreciate Ironhead Hayward for sure. But now you've got
what about didn't Joe Horn do a Falcon stint for a second?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously that's not real.
That didn't happen.
No. I wonder who else. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head.
You've got Caden Ellis, you've got Onyemata, you've got
now you got some new guys, that's true.
You got plenty over there. All right, big gulps, huh? We're going to take a break. More OTB when we come back here, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I need some champagne.
Off the bench with
Where's
Hester
the
and T-Bob.
champagne?
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Look, we just took a segment off one picture of Gilbert Brown. I think we're doing okay. We're doing okay. It's okay. We'll find our way. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go to the website today. Reserve your rental for your summer vacation. I think school's got, 2 more weeks left, and so you've got a couple more weeks to go ahead and reserve that vehicle. If you need something bigger, if you need something where you have better gas mileage, or if you want to combine both of those and get the hybrid Sienna, that is available to you over at All-Star. Just go ahead, pick up the phone, call Miss Lisa Sessions today to reserve it. You can reserve online as well at that website. We always give you All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com is the website. And they are your one-stop car shop for anything that you need. And again, all makes and models are welcome at the service center, guys, where you get a free professional estimate. And Jake mentioned the rentals. They got shuttle service as well. And they're just the best. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Friday's AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. The Riot Radio Hours return, getting you set for LSU, Bama, and baseball, and Saints rookie minicamp. 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Been looking at you.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Don't wanna sound full of myself a rule, but you ain't looking at no other dudes, 'cause you love me. I'm sorry, baby.
T-Bob, what would you do if you had $22,000 worth of traffic cam tickets? What would be your process? Would you pay them back? Would you just hide from the authorities, or would you just not worry about it?
Yeah, I definitely ain't paying them things. Hell up out of here, dude. No chance. No chance.
So Junior Gillette, former Saint, has $22,000 worth of traffic tickets. I mean, what can't they, like, you get a warrant out if you have unpaid parking tickets?
So I could be wrong on this, but I don't believe that they can arrest you for this because maybe it has something to do with it's basically like a robot accuser or something. I'm not sure. I know they boot cars. I have not heard of anybody being arrested for this. I want to say this though. Okay, is Junior Gillette a bit insane for having $22,000 worth? Yes, but let's be clear. New Orleans traffic cams are rapacious and awful and a scam, and they don't benefit Louisiana, and I hate them with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. As someone who fresh out of college that had no money had to pay like over $1,000, I think damn near $2,000 at one point, and it just absolutely wrecked me. But here's the deal. So I ended up going like super deep. Right now, the city's owed $135 million in traffic cam citations, and the reason is because it is a penalty that disproportionately affects the people who can least afford it. And like, if you already can't afford a ticket and you get one of these, what do you do? You're not going to pay it. And the worst part is it's all these companies out of like Arizona and Ohio that are the actual companies that get the majority of the money with only a bit remaining here in Louisiana. It freaking disgusts me. I think they're awful. I hope they never come to Baton Rouge. And I think
there's only one that I know in Baton Rouge.
What?
There's only one that I know of in Baton Rouge, and that is right at the intersection, like Walk-Ons, Alec Box Stadium, Nicholson, right there.
And if you run it, you'll get a ticket in the mail.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it doesn't expand, because in my opinion, this is the worst possible way to make money, and you just take advantage of those who can afford it the least, and it's just hot garbage, and it's just a sign of an incompetent government that can't figure out better ways to create revenue through like attracting business and whatnot. Instead, let's just take advantage of our citizens some more and crap all over them because they were going over 5 over, or because they were going right on red and they didn't come to a full and complete stop. Miss me with that bull crap. So Junior Galette, I've not had your back much ever. And I don't want to say really publicly that I have Junior Galette's back, but like, hell yeah. I hope they get $200 million owed in traffic cam citations and don't get paid.
While we're hating on traffic and roads and cities, they had to film the new Mad Max on Nicholson. They had to. That's the only way that I can say the road is in that condition, is because you got it ready for a Mad Max film. Because my God, what in the hell are they doing on Nicholson? It has been for almost a year.
Wrapped.
It had to be. It had to be filmed here, because what are they doing? This is what leads into your city. When people cross over that bridge, they get off. The first exit is Nicholson. They're coming down to watch LSU play in baseball and softball and football and basketball. And my God, what an awful road that thing has turned into. And you haven't done anything. You got like a sidewalk. Oh, an expanded sidewalk, because people just walk up and down Nicholson all the time. The road hasn't, like, they haven't whispered new pavement to this thing. I don't know what they're doing. It's awful.
Wait, so which part of Nicholson are we talking about
specifically? It's all the way. It is from downtown. It is from downtown to LSU's campus. And, like, it's so bad. I sent y'all the picture. I go River Road for as long as I can now. And sometimes you get caught by the River Road train, and it'll get you. But it's worth the risk, so you don't have to go chitty, chitty, bang, bang down Nicholson.
So again, just signs of a government that needs to do better. I would love for, like, just for once, a politician that promises to, actually invest in infrastructure and pull it off to actually do it. But, whatever. I'm not holding my breath. It's fine. It is what it is. I don't know. Sorry, that was the only reason I wanted to bring up the Junior Galette is because I just wanted to rant about how much I deeply, deeply hate traffic cam citations.
No, it's fine.
Also, there's something inherently inhuman about being accused and convicted by just a camera, an automatic system.
A robot.
And it's like, well, how do you know I was driving the car, right? Like, what if somebody else was driving? I don't know if that's acceptable legally, but that's how I freaking feel.
Well, I feel like that's how you get away with fighting the camera, because you can be like, no, it's you. It's like, it looks like me. I don't know that that's actually me, though.
Well, one time I got in a hit and run accident and the guy's license plate fell off. So we had his license plate and I had like the exact description of his truck and they like looked him up and everything, but nothing happened and they couldn't like arrest him or anything because they couldn't prove that he was the one driving the truck.
Did his insurance at least pay for the accident?
Nope.
You had to pay for it?
Yeah.
No, bro.
Yeah, because like his truck's there. Like he should have had to do. Yeah, like you're responsible for your vehicle.
And then like my lawyers dropped the case, and I was like, y'all suck.
Y'all suck too. Next time you know who to get. So.
Yeah, this wasn't.
Yeah, exactly, dude. You didn't get.
I couldn't get Gordon in Texas. He needs to expand.
Texas.
Yeah.
Okay.
He needs to expand to Texas.
Yeah. If it was in Louisiana, though, you would have known who to call.
State.
What a what?
Bad state. Texas.
Yeah.
We don't have to rehash this.
No. Hey, I do really quick. I know we don't talk. Go ahead. You had something?
Well, where were you going to go?
I just want to go real quick NBA playoffs because I know we don't talk a lot of NBA playoffs here, but the Cavs. Oh, look at us. The Cavs even the series after winning 118-94. They beat the hell out of the Boston Celtics on the road. So that series is way more intriguing than it was. And same thing, Mavericks take care of the Thunder on the road, 119-110. So now that series is even more intriguing. And so look at there. Now the Knicks, I mean, they couldn't be 1-1. It's actually 2 games to nada for the Knicks with that lead over the Pacers. Yeah, sure. Why not? We've talked about him enough. And then the other series, Minnesota's up 2-0 on the Denver Nuggets. But I'm more intrigued now that these games are 1-1 because I honestly thought the Boston Celtics were going to steamroll the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, my take after that first Celtics-Cavs game was that, like, here you have the Cavs that just emerge out of this battle with the Magic, and like they're sitting there telling everyone like, we're good, like you all think we're gonna lose, we're not gonna lose, and they go and get their ass kicked. Like I thought that was gonna be a mental blow that they just weren't gonna come back from. That it was gonna be like, okay, actually, I guess we're not that tight. So that was pretty wild to see that last night. The Mavs, I would say, probably less surprising, obviously, than the Celtics are, though the Thunder did look really dominant in game 1 as well. I, though, remain, and I feel so lame for this because I don't know what this makes me, but I remain most intrigued by this New York Knicks team. And look, I do agree with Rick Carlisle that certainly maybe they've gotten some calls over the Pacers, but
Jim Carrey.
If yeah, I know. If you watch game 2, though, like Jalen Brunson gets hurt, Pacers start kicking ass. They go up 10. Jalen Brunson comes back in. They get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't tell me it's the refs why you're losing. Like, the refs aren't causing DiVincenzo to be like a modern big shot Bob as he keeps hitting these huge threes with under a minute. The refs aren't the reason why Jalen Brunson managed to score in every critical possession down the stretch in game 2. So, like, and I think the reason why I like the Knicks mainly is just because Brunson and Hart play so hard, especially Josh Hart. He's already run a marathon. He hurts his wrist and somehow gets better shooting from 3. He's averaging like 47 minutes a game, a double-double. Like 5 assists to go along with that.
Can we ask that question that we've never asked, but needs to be asked?
What?
What if he was still a Pelican? He had 19 points, 15 boards, 7 assists in game number 2. He was part of the C.J. McCollum trade, right?
Yeah.
And there's multiple players from that trade that are actually playing really well in the playoffs right now.
I think it's one of those things where you kind of had to do what you had to do to get McCollum, but maybe even beyond that, like if he was still a Pelican, I don't think he would be doing what he's doing. He'd be good. Don't get me wrong. He'd still be really good, but Tom Thibodeau, famous, known grinder, Josh Hart, maybe even extra motivated to feel like he needed to prove himself. Now he's becoming a bit of a New York hero, which causes even more kind of motivation to be had as a player. So I think exactly what happened needed to happen so that Josh Hart could attain. And also look at all the Nova boys, right?
Yeah, 3 on same team.
I mean, the Nova boys getting back together has been the story of, their chemistry has been the reason why the Knicks are having so much success in these playoffs. I feel like Emil says, I want nothing but good things for my guy, Josh Hart. He was so incredibly likable here in New Orleans. I agree with Nacho Man, and intangibles off the charts. How about this? So he's already run over a marathon in the 8 games.
Yep.
And then I think Brunson's actually second. But they asked him about being fatigued, and he basically said, look, man, we got people waking up for 12-hour shifts 6 days a week.
Yeah.
We play a game, so we got to keep things in perspective. And I don't know if there's a more likable answer than that. So, yeah, I don't like cheering for like a big market team, but Josh Hart and how hard he plays, along with how hard Brunson plays, it's hard not to.
And obviously, like I'm biased in this conversation, but like market size be damned. Like the Knicks have been horrible for a long time. It's kind of like the Cubs.
Yes, true.
Like they're this huge market, big brand, but they've been horrible. So like it's easier to root for them. And then also like to me, I'm looking at the style of play. Like how do you play? What is kind of the DNA of your team? And it is like I'm never going to root against Josh Hart. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I
agree. Did you see him? Did you see him when he dropped the F-bomb on the live mic on Reggie Miller?
Yeah. If you miss it, MSG, the entire arena was chanting "F you, Reggie," because as we know, Reggie Miller and the Knicks have history, and it was a beautiful thing. And Reggie Miller's like, "Oh, of course you are. What I did to y'all in this building." Reggie, you never won one, you bum. You couldn't get past.
Yeah, he's still no,
okay?
but he has it over the Knicks.
Yeah, for what?
He can talk trash to the Knicks. What?
You didn't end up in the title, you bum.
It doesn't matter. He can still talk trash to the Knicks. He owned them in the Garden. And that's one of the more fun. That's one of the more fun, like and Reggie's going to talk that talk. That's how he made. That was always his thing. And so's New York. That's one of those rare situations where it's like it warms your heart to see these two different parties saying "F you" to one another. You're like, oh, that's very sweet. Look at these. These two can't quit each other. They just love each other.
All right, let me ask you an NBA question that they would, ask on one of these national shows, because I actually think it is interesting. Would you take SGA, Brunson, Edwards, or Jason Tatum?
Oh. I mean, what SGA has done this year is amazing, and he is like more so than maybe Zion or maybe even Brunson. Like, he is the guy on that OKC team, but there is a lot of talent around him. Maybe even if it's not like superstar talent. Anthony Edwards, I guess here's where I struggle to answer this, is that Jason Tatum has never felt cool to me, and that's and I feel it's nothing that he's done.
Hey, can I read you a tweet that actually makes sense to your point? Someone said Jason Tatum is the Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris's.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's not to say obviously he's incredible, but like he's just not like Anthony Edwards is out there looking like a killer. SGA, maybe just because I've suffered at his hands too much in late game situations, but we know when we went through the his clutch statistics versus the Pelicans, that's a killer. Jalen Brunson, just thick-bodied, banging around on this incredible postseason run. So I'm a bit slave to the moment, but like basketball heads, actual basketball experts, which I'm not at all, I just like the sport, would probably take Tatum over a lot of those guys.
He would be
kind of my
fourth on my
least
list.
favorite of the
I
bunch.
would go Edwards, Brunson, SGA, space, Tatum.
That, again, I don't know about the actual raw basketball, but in terms of like coolness, I could agree with that list just like that.
Yeah. Brunson offensively, dog. But Anthony Edwards is a dog like in all aspects of the game. And SGA is like got a little bit of that in him, but I think there's more that can come out, and it hasn't just yet. So, I mean, look,
but SGA's a little more unassuming as well. Probably why he didn't get more MVP votes this year.
All right, as we get ready,
he
should have. As we get ready to take this break, actually, Shaq told Jokic like he should have been the MVP. Did you see that video?
No, I heard it was very awkward though.
Maybe we can play that for you. We'll see if we give Taylor enough time. He can find that video. We'll play that for you when we come back. Before we take this break, mmrgrp.com is the website. Remember, in a search engine, you can type in MMR Baton Rouge, and that is going to T-Bob pull up what they have available in those careers over at MMR.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. I don't look, if you're a student listening right now, and you're like, man, I don't really know what I want to do. Explore what MMR can offer you, man. There's great internship opportunities. And, I always tell you about how it's the largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the entire country. And it's headquartered here in Baton Rouge. But they have offices all over the globe, right? And so, like, when I toured, I was talking to young kids, some interns, I think some maybe who had just gotten out of it and were starting their jobs. And, we're seeing pictures of them like skiing and doing all like going on adventures right on these job sites. And it just seems like there's so many benefits. Well, there are outstanding benefits, literally. It's a dynamic culture and there's a variety of positions available for you. So whether you're a student, seasoned pro, just starting out, apply now at mmrgrp.com.
All right, more OTB when we come back here. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com. Pools, outdoor living spaces, fences, and bulkheads. We tell you about the pools all the time. And spec pools, custom pools, no matter what happens, right? It's going to be an incredible situation because we talk about the spec pools, how quickly they can get those installed. Also, like these custom pools, so many different options. Now, spec pools as well. Like, you're going to have a booklet of what to choose from, but they've got you covered. Outdoor living spaces, outdoor kitchen. Look, it goes great with a pool, but you don't have to have a pool to get that incredible outdoor kitchen, that outdoor living space where you can go hang out with your friends. Any fence that you might need, wrought iron, wood, whatever, they got you covered there. Bulkheads as well. We build the spaces, you build the memories. PECbuilt.com.
PEC. Oh, is there time left? Oh, I thought Alondra, never mind. I thought she did one. Okay, PECbuilt.com. Guys, we're doing this from like 17 states away.
Yeah.
PECbuilt.com. Just go check out the gallery, guys. It's going to blow you away. Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Brack teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.
Join me and Jimmy on for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch. As always, we are at Ruffino's on Highland Road starting at 11 o'clock. Bruce Marshall is with us, Troy Macker, and we get set up for the weekend. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Friday from Ruffino's on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Faster, stronger. That don't kill me, can only make me stronger. I need you to hurry up now, cause I can't wait much longer.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All All right, welcome back in OTB. Here is the video of Shaq. Okay, well, 1 second. It is the video of Shaq that he's talking to Jokic, and look, we talked about it. I mean, he wins another MVP. He's like, oh, yeah, cool. But Shaquille O'Neal told Jokic exactly who he voted for and who he thought should be the MVP.
You guys' criteria, number one seed, which team has a better record? I felt Shai Alexander deserved it because I've been number two a lot. When I played my ass off, number two. So the fact that he has to start all over next year and try to win it again, I think it was. I know it's going to be hurtful for him. Hopefully he uses this to motivate him to win a championship. But I thought, and again, no disrespect to the Joker, best big man in the league by far. You could have went this way, but I thought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of only a few players that had 30 points 50 times, stat stuffer, great season. His team is number one. Nobody expected him to be number one. I thought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to win it by far. But congratulations to Joker. I'm happy for him. Third-time MVP. You really can't be mad at this vote. But the fact that he has to start all over next year and win it over again. Because, again, I felt I was robbed 2 or 3 times, right? And I played my ass off. Stat stuffer, won championships those years. But, again, no disrespect to the Joker. But me personally, I would have gave it to Shaq.
T-Bob, I don't know if could you hear that?
That's got to be the craziest thing I never heard. Like, I cannot believe what I just didn't hear. That was just, wow. That might be one of the more awkward things I never saw. Like, Shaq, why'd you even need to do that? I don't know.
You couldn't hear that entire thing?
No, I didn't hear any of it. No.
The audio that feeds to him would have echoed.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little technical. It's all good. It's all good. I can imagine it. Sounds pretty awkward.
No, Shaq, look, he's just saying that, SGA should have won it. He's on the number one seeded team. He had over 30 points 50 times this year. And no disrespect to the Joker, everything he's done. It almost felt like Shaq was saying it was kind of a lazy vote for it to be the Joker again and it not be SGA.
He's the Shaq have.
He mentioned he felt like he got snubbed 2 or 3 times. Did he have 2 or 1? He might just have 1. I think Kobe and Shaq might just have 1.
Yeah,
apiece.
he just has 1.
Yeah.
The 99-2000 season.
Look, I love Shaq. Shaq loves Shaq. I think that's a little bit of haterade from Shaq. I feel that SGA should have gotten more, and if you want to give it to SGA, that's fine. But to outright say that Jokic shouldn't have won it, didn't he average 32, 12, and 9? Nuggets still the 2 seed. He plays basketball in a way, in a style that we've never seen before. I think Jokic win MVP is fine. Even though Jokic did kind of piss me off acting so nonchalant about the MVP. I didn't care when it was the team stuff because I find that all very funny and it's whatever. And it's funny how it relates to how people normally say when they win a championship. But I don't know, something about the individual nature of MVP and how hard people fight for it. To be blasé or seem like you don't give a damn or you're kind of taking it for granted, that I actually didn't love. You don't have to like it, but just be or you don't have to really give a damn, but just be oh yeah, I'm really honored. That's awesome. You don't have to go out of your way to be I don't care.
I don't know. There is something cool about winning the MVP and not being me a little bit. Or do you think it was me because he acted so nonchalant?
No, I think it. Yeah, no, I think it becomes it. Again, he didn't have to be me. He just needed. I just just keep it simple. Be yeah, thank you. I'm really honored to get the award. Right. Instead, he's I don't really care about it. I don't watch that stuff. And it's well, okay, but it means a lot to a lot of people, and it's pretty historic what you just did. But I guess, but again, you can't really draw the line with where you like Jokic's personality and where you want to be something different. So that is in keeping with his entire personality. So it just kind of is what it is. But my personal reaction to it was I did not love it.
You win 3 MVPs though, that puts you in rarefied air.
Yes.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 6, Bill Russell has 5, Jordan had 5, Wilt had 4, LeBron has 4, Moses Malone has 3, Larry Bird has 3, Magic Johnson has 3. So when you win that third, that puts you in a category of the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? Like Magic, Bird, Jordan, Russell, Kareem.
I mean, look at if he wins a second championship. Look at the list of guys that have 3 MVPs and 2 championships. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's an even more exclusive, even more. Yes, you're like a top 10 player of all time. And one of the things that they've been playing here with and over here is like this idea of like, is Jokic, will he ever be remembered like that? Like, will he get that respect? Or will he not, maybe a bit, because his attitude is kind of different? Like, do you think Jokic really wants to win this series at this point?
I think Jokic is thinking about getting on a buggy behind a horse right now.
I'm just saying, and I know that's kind of like becoming like the cliche take, but cliches a lot of times are rooted in truth. And like, you know how this is, Jay? Nobody wants to lose. But the allure of the offseason after a season-long grind is impossible to ignore. And if things are already kind of going badly, you're 2 games down, like maybe you could give it the old college try on game number 3. And then game 4, you're like, look, guys, let's just
Cancun on 3.
Yeah,
except
exactly,
he's like
bro.
Eastern Europe on 3.
Especially after winning the championship last year, right? I mean, that's how do you stay hungry? That's what makes the sociopaths like Kobe and Michael so different. I don't know if, not that he has to at all, he's still incredible, but like, I don't know that Jokic is as desperate to win. Watch, and they'll probably prove me wrong, and they'll come back and win game 3, and this will all be stupid sounding in retrospect, but I mean, it'd be hard not to maybe feel like, damn, like you're only 2 games away from getting to chill out and do what you want.
Yeah, and look, the T-Wolves are getting after them as well. Like defensively, both ends of the court, so it's not easy, and it's probably pretty annoying. And so if if they don't win this one, I mean, it is over, because the T-Wolves, like, shout out to them. I mean, they've got a plan. It's almost like one of those plans, it feels like, T-Bob, that they've been thinking about for a year. Like, as soon as we play this team, because they didn't play this style in the opening series. Like, this is for the Nuggets, and it feels like one of those plans where, hey, we're going to put this in place when we have some time in the off season, and we have extra couple of minutes here and there. We're working on this plan as far as like the coaching staff.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I mean, look, I think that's. I mean, is it in the NBA? Wouldn't you probably agree that like when coaches and the acumen of a coach is most felt is in the playoffs?
Yes.
Because it becomes a giant chess match between the two staffs as you go, you're just playing a ton of games against the other team and you're going adjustment for adjustment. It's why you put so much on coaches in the playoffs and why guys get fired, like Frank Vogel did yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, after a year.
Yeah, go Nas Reed. I agree. Go Nas Reed.
Also,
is
nice
Frank Vogel the least exciting coaching hire in the world? Frank Vogel is like an unsalted potato. It's like just biting into like a raw, unsalted potato. There's just no flavor there. I mean, I guess he is an NBA Finals champion. He was technically the head coach on that Lakers team in the bubble that won it.
Count. Yeah, that one is not recognized. Not here. Not on this show.
No, I agree. Like,
NBA coaches
feels like a big upgrade.
Like NBA coaches, like they don't really, like Chris Long said, like they make sure you get on the team plane. That's about it. Now in the playoffs, like you might have like 3 or 4 that actually matter. Like I do think Tibbs, like for the Knicks, I think he matters. I think he's got a style that's a little bit different. It feels like he matters. But like these NBA coaches, man, it's a player-driven league. Like if LeBron wants you gone, you're gone, right?
Yeah.
And if like KD and Booker want you gone, you're gone. Like it is player driven. That it is so much different than any other thing that we have in professional sports.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. I have been enjoying the NBA playoffs though. I think they've been pretty damn good so far, and a twist that I never would have expected. I've been really enjoying the Knicks. So whatever. I guess I'm just a normie. Just a little normie boy like everybody else.
On this trip, Cubs and the Knicks.
I know.
Big
look
market,
at me.
Bob.
I'm just so mainstream. What a
Big market,
loser.
Bob. Forget your roots. You got to
I feel
town
bad.
one time.
I feel y'all broke up both times you said that joke, so I didn't hear any part but the Bob.
Goes to Gibson's Steakhouse one time.
I haven't been to Gibson's yet. I'm going to a thing called. I'm going to a restaurant tonight called The Girl and the Goat, and I can only imagine what goes
is
down
this
there.
like
you going to Tijuana?
Dinner and a show type of thing, T-Bob, or is this like sit down restaurant? It's you, so
Okay,
I gotta ask.
Both good jokes. I like Jake's. You're going to Tijuana better though. I think you're going to Tijuana is the winner of the Girl and the Goat jokes.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one.
All right, we're going to take our final break of the show. Ask the bench to close out this week's OTBs. We'll do it right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, go to GoTommies.com, G-E-A-U-X, Tommies.com. Tommy's windows, doors, and siding. Go to that website that we just gave you to check out testimonials of past clients and what they can do for you. So you don't want to believe us? Well, you should. I mean, we're going to tell you the truth. But if you don't want to believe just us, check out those testimonials of what Tommy can come in and do for you. Also, if you want to check out their work, like visually, you want to see what they can do, custom jobs, any kind of job, they actually have the gallery right there on the website as well. It is all at your fingertips, serving Louisiana. So our listening area here in the boot, we are talking to you. GoTommies.com.
GAUX-Tommies.com. Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You need hardy plank or vinyl siding. You need wood or vinyl windows. You need any type of door. You need to get with Tommy's. You need to make Tommy's one of your bids, okay? I would say you could just use them outright and you'll love them. But if you want to see it for yourself, make them the bid on your project and let them prove it to you. And I fully trust that they will. GAUX-Tommies.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none.
Join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp, football talk with Preston Guy from Tiger Bait, Chris Demouy talking LSU baseball. We'll go to Pittsburgh, chat with Noah Hiles about Paul Skenes' debut. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
One more time.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, At the Bench brought to you by Cold Cruise Light, Vizzy, Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench, what are Caleb Williams and T-Bob going to talk about at the Girl and the Goat?
Oh, wait, dude. Okay, so have you seen Caleb Williams has already changed Bear fandom? Have you seen the Bear Claw?
Yeah, they were at the Sky game, right? Him and
Yes,
Roma
but apparently
Dunze.
Bears fans have never done that before, and now they're all obsessed, and everybody's all going around the city hating each other. It's like when we started throwing up the L's after we watched the 30 for 30 on the U.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah.
And it looks like
Shout
real
out to the Bears.
claws
We're gonna
with
talk about the
Caleb
Bear Claw.
Williams nails.
Got bear
What?
claws lodged.
Oh, it does
What?
launder. That's true.
I said they look like real claws because Caleb Williams nails.
Yeah,
That was going to be my answer, like fingernail polish conversation with him and T-Bob for sure.
Ask the Bench,
Where
will
he gets his
T-Bob
acrylic stuff.
ever return to Baton Rouge?
Yes, thank God. Tomorrow morning, dude.
Oh, thank God. Hope Caitlin's listening. Thank God I get back.
Bro, you don't think I miss my children?
I mean, I don't
It
know.
doesn't seem like it. It looks like you're having a
all
lot
we
of
hear
fun.
about is all these
Talking about
incredible
Girl and the Goat.
restaurants,
Yeah.
and you're going, adult dinners, and I don't know, going to Cubs games by yourself,
Yeah.
drinking 14
Look, there are
beers.
We
things-
haven't heard about
these
a
are-
kid
these are-
once this whole
These are all
time.
things that are undeniably fun, and they were really awesome at the beginning of the week. But as the week goes on, I'm feeling the void in my heart heavier and heavier. I am very ready to get home tomorrow.
Well, and Jake, y'all are forgetting T-Bob's direct quote yesterday saying, yeah, Caitlin's been at home taking care of all the kids. She's been with them all week, which honestly sounds awful.
Yeah, he
Bob said
did.
that
He
yesterday.
did
Oh,
say
you
that.
did say that.
Yeah, it does sound awful. That sounds super hard, dude. To be home alone with 3 kids for an entire week when one of them's been like sick and like double ear infections. Yeah, it sounds not
And
fun.
you did that to her.
Work like okay,
Twice.
I've been in this studio. I've been in this building 12 hours a day doing 6, 7 shows.
Poor you.
boo.
And it is well, no, you gotta let me finish. It is markedly easier than raising 3 kids. It is markedly easier than my day-to-day back home. So yeah, I mean, make no mistake, it's been easy, but my heart hurts.
Ask the Bench, which 2 Hester boys have not yet been on OTB, and did Harlow rub their nose in it?
Didn't you say?
The day you weren't with us, T-Bob, my birthday, the day you bailed on us, Harlow actually came in for the final segment of the show. So Jackson,
dude.
Memphis,
has
and
been
Harlow have all been on. So Knox and Huddy have yet to be on. This summer, they'll be on, all right? Because Knox can come on here and he can talk Star Wars with T-Bob. Like, he can go toe-to-toe with T-Bob. And so they can bond over that. And Huddy Paul, just make sure you got your wallet at the end of it. He's a swindler.
Wait, Huddy?
Oh yeah, Huddy
has a
swindler.
wallet?
No, Huddy's a swindler. Like he'll take your wallet. Like you got to be careful around him. Yeah, you just got to make sure.
Well, if he pops open my wallet, he better be ready to see cobwebs. I mean, I don't think I carry cash.
I mean, Girl and the Goat, gotta be expensive.
Yeah, got to be expensive. Can't have money. And T-Bob showed us that. T-Bob will be back on Monday in studio. We got to do a live read.
Looks like LSU is going to play Mizzou. Breaking now.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
They're going to play
Go
Mizzou?
Coach Torino. Yeah, that's what chat's saying.
Okay, shout out. Let's go. Doesn't matter. Mizzou, Como, you can get these hands
Go
too.
Tags.
Centralplumbing.org. Centralplumbing.org is the website. 225-925-8552 is the number. 24/7 emergency services, 365 any day. Doesn't matter. Holiday, weekday, weekend. Big game day. Doesn't matter. You got a problem, they will be there. 225-925-8052. And again, always online at centralplumbing.org.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Like Jake said, 50 years in the game. Everybody's licensed, bond insured, 24/7 emergency service, flat rate pricing. So no surprise or hidden fees, just jacking it all up on the back end. Also, great warranty coverage, okay? And so you can trust them, commercial, residential, it doesn't matter. They've seen it all. They can fix it all. Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family